7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
He has a lot of problems.
Struggle to be top 5 in points at the end of the season.
Wow.
You bleach your hair, you're a sellout.
Yo, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to the Moto Aftermath Show. This is episode number 281. I am your host, Travis. We're in studio here. We're going to wrap up the Budds Creek round here, the outdoors. And we got a packed show here, okay? So we're gonna rattle off the regular show here. We've got in-studio guests. We got people we're calling. At the end of the episode, we're gonna have our pro-esque contributor here, Mr. Eric Grandall. Me and him are gonna actually record tomorrow. So stay tuned at the end. He'll come in and we'll talk everything Budds Creek, probably the MXGP stuff, because as me and him kind of talked about last week, we had Cairoli debut that Ducati bike. So we've got all sorts of stuff. And in studio with me tonight, we have Mr. Doug Lindsay. Hello, sir.
What's going on, man?
Thank you for joining us.
Not a problem.
Now, Doug is the Presidente, correct?
Correct.
Of the Battle Creek Motorcycle Club.
Sir, right here.
Yep. So make sure to check them out. It is a wonderful track. I'm going to call it sandy. You can correct me if I'm wrong.
It's
in my
sandy
opinion,
again.
it's
for a
sandy.
little bit, it was kind of getting not. But
Really?
Yeah, it's
Huh.
definitely sandier now that we're starting to get the stuff back on the track.
Okay, don't let him kid you. It is a very sandy track, all right? And it is great. If you saw last week, Dan from RevX Oil was in here. If you saw the video that they put together, which I can put one together too at some point here, I need to. We did a test with the RevX Oil products at the Battle Creek Motorcycle Club. The track is great. I suck at it. That's just all there is to it. I'm terrible here. So
I'm partial.
Don't let Doug kid you. He rips, all right? He rips out there. So, yeah. So, Doug, thanks for joining us, man. And Doug actually put something really cool together. We are going to have Jeff Stanton on here in just a little bit, so which is awesome because Jeff's a local in Michigan here, and I've been at the track when he's there several times, and I've literally never talked to him.
Crazy.
He's like in the zeitgeist. It's like the what do they call it? The 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon, of like the 7 people around you all know him and you just never talk to him type deal,
right.
Which is exactly what it is. So this is going to be awesome. I got tons of questions for him. I got questions about Triumph. I got questions about Deegan. I got questions about SMX. I got all sorts of questions for him. So I'm excited for that. On board with us here, sponsoring the show, obviously, as always, the show brought to you by Complete Racing Solutions, who we'll get into when we get into the halftime report. We're in the TLR Coatings studios here. Worx going to be bringing you our 450 race recap, and ProFlow going to be bringing you our 250 race recap, and we'll have a Holster Co. reload rant there in the halftime report. And Isaac Nelson Designs going to be bringing you that Deegan Danger Zone. So make sure to stay tuned for that at the end. We've got merch on the merch shelf down below, so if you want to support the show, there's that. There's Amazon links in the description down below. And we do have the members area up, and I do have the members area for 99 cents. You can watch the show live every single week that we do it. We're going to really launch that come 2025 Supercross here. So if you want to see the show before anybody else, the members will get to watch us record it live, and then you will also get to the show. The live recording will then be up for members only until the show debuts, and then we'll make that private after that, because obviously the edited show will be out. But you can get the raw, totally unedited show there in the members area for just 99 cents a month.
That's right. Nicole and Brianna, my youngest, they were wanting to know if it was live. I didn't know they could do that. That's cool.
We will be. So we have been streaming, and after we talk to Jeff, we might take a break, and I'll set the phone up to do live for the 450 race recap, is what I've been doing to kind of preview it for people a little bit. Yep. But starting in 2025, we're going to be live every single week when we record the show. That's awesome. We're just trying to make the wheels turn here. That's it. So, okay. So I had some questions for you here before we get to Jeff.
All right.
So you're the president of the Battle Creek Motorcycle Club. How do you end up in that position?
Oh man. As you know, I moved from California, 2009.
Yep.
Got here. My dad actually became a member there, along with my uncle and my brother-in-law.
Okay.
Said, we got a track. You're gonna love it. It's perfect for you.
It's the complete opposite of all California tracks.
100%. So anyway, so we get there and I sign up or whatever and became there. And anybody that knows that being part of a club, it's all volunteer work. You got to donate your time. You got to put your work in, stuff like that. I have good work ethics. I love the sport. I love being at the track.
Yep.
So constantly, I was there all the time. Byron Kibbe was the president before me. And about not even a year in, he said, you're going to end up running this place one day. And I said, yeah, right. And he goes, seriously, I'm not going to do this forever. You know, he's older. And he came to me one day, and it was like not even a year later, and said, hey, actually, the first year I was there, I had already asked to get put on the board.
Okay.
And I became the secretary, which I prepped all the meeting minutes and all that kind of stuff, whatever. So I was already a board member.
Okay.
Year later, that's when Byron came to me and said, hey, I'm going to step down. I'm going to, ask you to do it or whatever. I'm going to nominate you. Are you ready? And I said, yeah, I'll be there as long as I can confide in you and come back and talk to you and ask for questions and whatever.
As long as I got some help, like we're in.
Right, for sure. So anyway, it came to that, and then Joe Wathen was a VP at the time, and he had asked Joe, and I said, well, what about Joe? Is he going to want to jump up in there? And Byron said, I don't know, I'll talk to him. That's a good idea, but I don't think he wants it. He talked to Joe. Joe said no, so I accepted the position, got voted on. Here it's been, that was in the end of 2012.
Okay.
And here it is, 2024, and I'm still there.
Nice.
So I have a good group of guys there that help me, a core group.
Yep.
We have 60 members, and it's come a long ways.
Okay, let me ask you some questions here.
Okay.
Have we made improvements to the registration process for race day?
100%.
Okay, because the last few times I was there, I don't remember if I was there last year or it was the year before, the registration process was a fucking nightmare. I will shoot you straight on everything. It was a fucking nightmare of go to this line, then that line, then that line, then that line, and there was no one directing me as to what line.
100%. So coming 2025, we're actually going to have a new race coordinator.
Okay.
That's going to help some.
Okay.
The other thing that was kind of hard with that too the last couple of years is we didn't have any electronic scoring and stuff, and I was trying to work on that. I've been trying to work on that before I was a president. I had guys coming from Canada for live laps and doing all ton of testing. Mm-hmm. Long story short, My Laps has it wrapped up because they're the only system that'll work with Trackside, which is the same company that the pros use and everything else.
Yep.
So this year it's been 100 times smoother. We got a guy that bought all the system and stuff, and we basically pay him. It's like $10 a rider.
Okay.
Gets it added. That's why we bumped our prices up, kind of passed that over.
That's fine.
But we are the only track in the state that your second class is only $35. So I actually eat $5 per class if you do it more than one class.
If you do, too.
Yep.
Okay.
So with that being said, before we moved the sign up into the clubhouse, we had it running through the trailer. And if you think last year was a nightmare, holy crap, dude. It was horrible.
Yeah.
We had some trailer trash podunk trailer up there. You went in one door. Hopefully you didn't fall through the floor, and you got out the other door by the time you were signed up.
Oh, boy.
So now it's way better. We got a good group in there. We got Terry Sweet, which she's actually the treasurer for the district. Mm-hmm. And she knows My Laps and Trackside by back of her hand. Okay. She's been helping us. We got different lines to where you can sign up if you need to renew your AMA or your D14.
Yep.
So it's more of you start here, you move to this one, you move to this one. Was last year. Now you start here, you end there.
Okay.
So it's way better. The only thing that you do before is you got to go get your transponder first, get your number so you can get in line or whatever.
Yeah.
The only other thing that holds up is signing up for AMA or D14, which the only other thing that holds up is signing up for AMA or D14, which the only other thing that holds up is signing up for AMA or D14, which the only other thing that holds up is signing up for AMA or D14, which the only other thing that holds up is signing up for AMA or D14, which the only other thing that holds up is signing up for AMA or D14, which the only other thing that holds up is signing up for AMA or D14, which the only other thing that holds up is signing up for AMA or D14, which the only other thing that holds up is signing up for AMA or D14, which the only other thing that holds up is signing up for AMA or D14, which the only other thing that holds up is signing up for AMA or D14, which the only other thing that holds up is signing up for AMA or D14, which the only other thing that holds up is signing up for AMA or D14, which the only other thing that holds up is signing up for AMA or D14, which the only other thing that holds up is signing up for AMA or D14, which the only other thing that holds again, it's on the riders. You know your shit's
Yeah.
expired.
Yeah.
Get that done before you get to the track. Don't come to the track and
Yes.
bitch because the lines are long because you didn't do your shit.
Yes. And that's not what I'm complaining about, the lines being long because of that, because I understand that you have to sign up for that. It was we just need some signs.
For sure.
I don't know what it's like now because, like I said, I haven't been here this year, and I don't know if it was early last year or if it was 22 even was the last time I was there to race. But I just remember I got in line. I stood in line forever, and then I get to the front, and they're like, oh, well, are you registering your AMA? And I'm like, well, no, I have my AMA. They're like, oh, well, you should be in that line over there. I'm like, I just spent 35 minutes in line.
Yeah, that was super
no
frustrating.
one told. Yes.
We've gone through that a ton because
Yeah.
anybody that knows me is I'm on a very tight schedule when it comes to the track. That's why we're known to be done at 4:30, 5 o'clock when I still have 300 to 500 riders.
Oh, question for you on that.
Yep.
How come we quit doing the split things?
No one likes split programming.
Okay, all right.
So there's only a lot of the clubs like the split programs because all the vet and kids go in the morning and then ABC whatever in the afternoon.
Yep.
And the clubs like it because, again, you're volunteering, so some guy could flag in the morning, then race in the afternoon, vice versa, whatever.
Yep.
But our numbers pretty much doubled, if not tripled, going to the straight program.
Oh, okay.
So, and a lot of guys don't like to, and it helps with registration because you only have one sign up instead of two sign ups. I mean, there's multiple reasons why I like, as a business side of it, the straight program.
Okay.
So as a club and someone that's not pulling a crap ton of numbers, then I see the split program working for them, but I'm all about the straight.
How many races do you guys do a year?
We do 3 moto events.
Okay.
As far as the District MX, we do a double weekend, then we do a vintage GP open ride, and then our last race.
Okay.
And then we usually do a hare scramble.
Yep.
And then we do a sprint enduro.
Yep.
So our sprint enduro is coming up here the 13th and 14th
Okay.
of September.
Okay.
Super cool event. We've been asked to do more, but again, I think quantity comes in small numbers versus quantity. You know what I mean? I'd rather do quality over quantity.
Okay.
So that's where we're at.
Okay. Yeah.
And the numbers show it works.
Yeah. I mean, you and I have talked about some numbers off the air here, and what you're telling me, like, it's unbelievable the amount of people you're pulling. It's always full when I go there. Yeah, so I will say that.
I will say, like, when I first started, it became like 2010, 2011. We were pumped to get like maybe 100, 150 riders. Now, if I have under 300, I'm like, what's going on? Who else is running? Why don't where's everybody at? Whatever. So last year at our state round, we had, I think it was 519 on Sunday.
Okay.
Like 485 on Saturday.
Is there? Okay, so I like talking this kind of stuff because you obviously have real world experience here, where me and everybody else are just kind of like spitballing here. So back in whatever it was, 2018 maybe, first year Designations there.
The Mudfest.
What?
The Mudfest.
Yeah. So Redbud did that like three or four race night series or whatever, and I always thought like that was killer. Is there like room or anything for you guys to do something like that there, where you could put a small arena cross style track, maybe like not a full blown arena cross track per se?
No, well, the problem is lighting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then again, we're all volunteers. So trying to get people to do it, I have a hard enough time getting people there to do what we do now. It's just
I understand that.
You know that the two-stroke thing's out there. I wanted to bring a two-stroke only race back. No one else has done it yet. They've done two-stroke only money moto or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it is still in the works. It's just I have a lot of respect for all the other tracks, so I'm not trying to run against them being a sanctioned track and whatever. So stay tuned for that because it will come. I promise it will come. I just want old school two-stroke racing. You know what I mean? So I do want to do that.
See, the thing I liked about that like night track series they did is like you showed up like, I don't even remember what it was, 3:30, 4 o'clock or whatever in the afternoon, and by 9:30 I was done. I'd ran both my motos, practice, I was out of there. That's one of the things I hate, and a lot of people complain about it. It's like, okay, you go to a race and you're there all day. I'm there at 7 o'clock in the morning. Practice starts at 8:30, 9, whatever, and then my last moto, especially if I'm a late moto, is 5:30, 6 o'clock or some shit like that. And I know you run a tighter schedule than the other places.
Yeah.
So it's like how do we improve that? How do we make it shorter?
So less classes.
Okay,
But
I'm in.
But the problem with that is everybody wants a fucking trophy. So everybody wants their own class.
I mean, they can fuck off.
But yeah, good luck. We go to meetings all the time.
Yeah.
The whole district. I know every single track owner and president in the state of Michigan, as I've raced every single track and stuff in the edition. So get in November, we do a pre-meeting
Okay.
for the district, try and figure out all our schedule.
Okay.
It's a clusterfuck. Everybody just wants, I want this weekend, I want that weekend. Then you got promoters, and then you got clubs. The clubs are like what I am. Promoters are like Redbud, Valley, Dutch, those kind of.
Yep.
They're in it because that's their bread and butter. That's what's paying their bills.
Yeah.
It's not paying my bills. It's love of my sport. Everybody else is wanting to do it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
the clubs are a little bit more laid back, and there's a lot of animosity between the two because of that. But then with that being said, like, for instance, the new owners of Big Air,
Okay.
they want like 17 weekends a year, and I might be exaggerating, it might not be that many, but my point is they want like every single weekend that someone's not running, they want, you know. And then you got guys like Twisted, they wanted to do that too. But then you got Amy from Redbud that realizes, again, quality is over quantity. So she's back down. I think she only runs like 3 or 4 a year now.
Yes.
So, and again, the numbers will show that. So with all the classes that we have, I couldn't even tell you how many classes we have, but like the 85 classes
It's too fucking many, I'll tell you. It's
100%.
way too fucking many.
And Chad Akers, you know, he's my VP
Yes, okay.
for the club. Him and I have tried to get a ton of stuff to change and whatever, but it's like I said, a lot of people want us to follow the Loretta Lynn qualifier stuff, and a lot of, you know, the AMA classes, and then the district has their own classes, you know, like it's just like I said, basically what it boils down to is everybody wants a trophy, you know what I mean? And no one wants, that's why the age group classes, the 35, 40, 45, those classes are so much smaller because a lot of those guys are A guys, they're just in the top, and all they want is they're just there for the money. And then you got all the C classes that are trophy classes. Those are our biggest classes. Like the mini open, 65 open, 85 open, that's a huge class. 250C, obviously. Open C's a little smaller than 250C. You got 40 BC, 30 BC. Those are big classes. And believe it or not, the 50 plus was huge for a long time. And it started coming back down. But yeah, it basically just boils down. There's too many classes, and you try and crunch everything in.
Yeah.
And if you don't run a tight ship, you will be there till 8, 9 o'clock. I've heard stories from before I was a member, like back in early 2000s and stuff, they used to run a straight program. There was sometimes at the club, they didn't even get done before it was dark. And they were super, super pissed off. You know, riders are mad and everything else.
Yeah.
So that's why they went to split, because then now people, like you said, you don't have to be there all day. You can get there in the morning, be done around noon, 2 o'clock.
Yep.
But then you don't start the second set until 2 o'clock, and you got to do 2 motos. I don't know. It's
interesting. So I was going, God, maybe this was 2-3 years ago. I went and did several of those vintage races they had up at Log Road, where, you know, they have all the vintage classes and they have like the 1 GP class. And I got my ass absolutely smoked.
the modern
you know?
classes.
Yeah, because
you know, actually Jeff and Cody Stanton used to try and get me to go to those all the time.
Dude,
It's
so
never worked out right.
that is the one time I've been on a track with Jeff Stanton.
Yep.
I went over the finish line and went, that's Jeff fucking Stanton jumping over me. And then, you know what? By the next corner, I couldn't see him. And I went, wow, all right, well, that's that. So, but those I had such a great time at, because it's like I showed up at whatever it was, 9:30 or whatever. Practice was at 10. We ran our 2 motos, and by 12:30 I was done.
Right.
And it was like, okay, well, if you want to practice, you know, it's $10 or whatever. If you don't, whatever. And I'm just like, okay. And it was great because I could race in the morning, and then the kid could ride in the afternoon and just practice, and like that was awesome.
Right. Well, and that's where it's kind of cool, because again, that's non-AMA, non-D14.
Yeah.
So that's where when we do the 2-stroke event, you'll see that same similar thing, because
Cool.
I want to bring like old school two-stroke bet.
Yeah.
And we've thought about doing a 3-moto format or maybe just do a GP style. You know what I mean? Because like that's what we just did with the vintage. I got with Steve Baczynski. He's the vintage chairman for the district.
Okay.
And he started doing a GP, and that's what we do in the morning is we do a GP. They do 1 moto, 25 plus 2.
Cool. I'm way into that.
Every class does it, and it's super cool to see all the old school bikes out there. You know, you got the double shocks. Then they got like the most moderns, like maybe I think Yamaha is one of them. You can do up to like a 2004 steel frame. Still has to be a steel frame.
Yep.
So I couldn't tell you all of the ins and outs of that, but maybe we can have him on one day.
Yeah. No, that would be cool.
But anyway, so and then that works out, and then we're usually done 11:30, 12 o'clock, and then we do open practice the rest of the day. And I usually let those guys that race in the morning just go ahead and ride for free in the afternoon. So it works out good. But with the 2-stroke thing, I think it'll be cool. I've contemplated on, once I seen how smooth that ran, it might be kind of cool to do something like that, because you get seat time wise, our fast lap times are probably just under 2 minutes.
Yep.
I'm like 2:16ish, somewhere in there, 2:19.
I'm like 3. We're cool.
So
nice and fast.
If you add that up and you do 4 to 5 laps, you're only looking at not even 20-minute lap or motos. You know what I mean? So if you did 2 of those, I guess you get a little bit more seat time. But if we did just 1 GP, then maybe guys would do multiple classes, and you're only, you know what I mean? You could bring different bikes or whatever. And
yeah.
I think it could be kind of cool, and maybe get done early to where we could open up for open practice, run practice till 5 or something.
Yeah, well, like I said, I pitched that after I went to the first one and did it. I pitched that to so many people, like, yo, let's just go do this. You're done by 12. You get to get a couple of gate drops in, and then you can ride if you really want to. If not, like, we're done. We'll go to lunch, call it a day. Like, you get home, wash your bike, and be done by 5 o'clock. You're chilling. So, I don't know. We could talk track stuff.
Oh, dude,
all night.
Yeah, it's super hard, and it's a super fine line to try and get everything crammed in and keep everybody happy, but yet still want those numbers up. Because I mean, if we weren't trying to produce 400 or 500 riders, then I could get done super early and combine classes, and instead of 17 motos in a day, we could have 10 and be done at 3 o'clock.
Sounds good to me.
Right, but it doesn't sound good for my bank to be buying dozers and tractors and everything else that
this
we
is
want
also
for the
true.
club. So, and I want a Loretta Lynn qualifier.
Well, we'll talk about that off the air. Okay, I can't discuss that openly. I've seen how this works. So I do have another question for you here before we try to get Jeff on here. How does insurance work?
As far as what?
For the track. Like, let's say, okay, so you obviously buy insurance for the track.
Every time, yep.
Okay. Let's say somebody jumps something that wasn't really supposed to be jumped. For example, you've got those 2 huge tabletops there, right? Let's say, for some reason, somebody's a fucking wild man, Eli Tomac, and they rail that corner so fast, they jump from one tabletop to the other.
Good luck, but okay.
Let's just hypothetical
Right.
here. Let's say I catch this on film, and I put it on the internet, and your insurance sees it. Are they going to call you and say that your insurance is going up?
No.
Okay, just want to make sure. Just want to make sure that was how that works.
The only thing they care about is the boundaries.
Okay.
You're supposed to be 10 foot off the track.
Okay.
Any flatland, corners, stuff like that.
Okay.
20 feet off the jumps.
Okay.
They don't grandstands, you know what I mean? And then numbers. That's all they care about.
Okay.
So.
Is it real expensive? Can you share numbers on, like, insurance rates for a track?
Yeah, I mean, it's all roughly about the same. It costs us a couple grand a weekend. Usually.
That's not too bad.
No, I mean, and I think, depending on who you are and who you're using, like it goes up and down. We were using Birdsong, and there was a while that we could get standalone to where we could do a standalone open practice that didn't have to be D14 or AMA or anything.
Okay.
And it only cost us a couple $100
That's
a
not
day.
bad.
No, it was way good, but now they've kind of stepped away from that, and I don't know if it's because of incidences and stuff, and like these guys like Martin and those guys, I don't know what they're using for insurance or how they're doing it.
Yeah.
For instance, like even when Jeff started the Jeff Stanton Adventures, he hit me up about insurance and asked who I was going to also, and because it's the similar thing, you know what I mean? They're riding his bikes even and stuff. So
Oh yeah.
I hooked him up with the guy at Birdsong, and I think they went good from there.
Interesting. Super interesting. So, all right. Well, you want to see if Jeff is ready to come on? While he's doing that, couple other shout outs here, sponsor wise here. As you can kind of see on the table, we have a Slacker 5.0, which will help you set your sag on your bike by yourself. I had an older model of this. They hit me up. They said, hey, do you want to try the new model? I said, sure. They sent this out. So shout out to them. I haven't actually used this yet because I've literally only rode twice this year. And one of the times was when I didn't even have this. And the other time's been on a small turn track in my backyard. So, but we will get some testing done with that. But thanks to Slacker. Make sure to check them out, Slacker USA on Instagram. And then we've got some lightning rod energy shots here. Dan, and I think his dad owns that. I met him last year actually at the Ironman National, and he was telling me about this business they were coming up with, which was this. It's in the same vein as like a 5-hour energy, but this stuff's all natural, and there's none of the BS in there. So, yeah, make sure to check them out on Instagram also. Go ahead, FaceTime audio him if you would, please, sir.
Yep.
I'll let you answer it.
Says video.
Well, I mean, the video is fine. Doesn't matter.
Mr. Stanton.
What's going on?
Not much. How are you?
I'm good.
Looks like you're busy.
No, it's all good. This is just real life stuff right here, dude.
Yep. You eating, working on the farm, messing with the deers. Hi, Sarah. How are you? Torin, how's it going?
Oh man, I feel
Hey,
bad.
Grandpa, how are you?
I am good, and yourself?
Oh, not too bad.
I feel like we're interrupting dinner here.
Yeah, are we interrupting dinner? You want us to call you back, or are you good?
No, go for it.
All right.
Hey,
So,
all the podcasts that I do in Europe, I'm sitting on a tractor or lawnmower, and the people just rave over it. They're like, "This is real life stuff."
right.
This is awesome. This is awesome.
So, Jeff, this is my buddy Travis. He's the guy for the Moto Aftermath Show, and he knows a bunch of people, and he's been around you 100,000 times, and said he's never got the opportunity to actually meet you. And I said, well, I might be able to change that.
All right.
Well,
Cool.
yeah, thanks, man. We appreciate you coming on. I actually, I was just telling Doug here, I ran a vintage race at Log Road, I don't know, must have been 2-3 years ago now, and I didn't even know you were there, and then I came off the track, and they were like, dude, Jeff Stanton's here riding. I think you were on like a 95 CR 125 or something, and I went, oh, no way. And then second moto, we were going over the finish line, and you jumped completely over me, and I went, wow, that's Jeff Stanton there. That's so cool. And by the next corner, I couldn't see, and I was just like, yep, he's still got it. That's awesome.
That's cool.
Highlight moment of my career there.
Right.
So
Yeah, that's what I haven't told Trav, but I remember when me and Chad lined up against you and Torn at that hair scramble the one time, and I said, how in the heck is this even fair?
Yeah.
But whatever.
I'm sure a lot of people said that this year. That year we did all of them that year. It was fun.
Yeah. Did you guys end up winning it?
I'm not sure if no, we didn't. The year before, him and Cody did. They won the team lightweight there. So, yeah.
let's see if we can make it so you can hear it here.
Yeah, it was fun though. Still fun. Like I still remember the first day I met you, and I told you I was starstruck, and you laughed at me.
It's all good.
Yep. So it's very cool how we ended up our friendship and stuff, and I don't know, very cool, chilled person.
Yeah.
So I had a couple questions for you, sir.
Go ahead.
So this Triumph thing that you're involved in here. So you were involved with Triumph through the adventure riding deal that you do prior to the MX bike coming out, correct?
Yep.
So at what point do they hit you up and say, hey, we're thinking about doing a motocross bike? Do they ask you what you think? Do they get input from you? Or did they basically develop it and then all of a sudden be like, hey, so we got this motocross bike. You want to see it?
No, I've known all along from the beginning. It started, gosh, I think this is our 6th year. My wife and I was at Fort Custer on a long hike, and my phone rings, and I didn't recognize the phone number, and I picked it up, and the guy on the other end's like, I know you don't know me. I used to run Suzuki, and told me his name. I'm the president of the American side of Triumph. This is what we want to do. We got big dreams. I hear you want to do an adventure business. And he said, I'm sitting here with one of your good buddies. And he's saying that we need Jeff Stanton on our side. We're building a team. Let's go. And so that's how it started.
That good buddy, was that Mr. Carmichael?
Yep. And so, Ricky and I have done a lot together, and that's where it started. And so it took many years, as you know, to put together the bike, and through COVID with delays, and it didn't come out as quick as possible. But when it came out, it had to be right, 100% right in today's world in order for it to sell and be successful. And the whole team did a great job. We hit it out of the park, and it's all good.
Yeah, it's awesome. First one I seen at the track was our last event out at our track. And one thing I noticed in person, because I still haven't been able to ride one yet, but it had a different sound to it. It almost had like a little bit of a purr to it, and it was quite a bit quieter than all the other bikes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, everybody's loving it, and I may know somebody that has one if you want to ride one.
Yeah, I know you were supposed to tell me when you got it, and we were going to come ride. So we'll definitely make that happen.
Yeah, Torrin was the first one to take it up in the woods and go ride it. Him and his wife, they went up and rode a couple of weeks ago, and so
how do you like it compared to the Honda?
He loves it. I mean, it's really sleek and really tight fitting, and so. Obviously, I mean, the results speak for itself. You've seen how many hole shots and great starts we've been getting against all the manufacturers have been doing it for 60 years.
Yeah.
So it's going well. So.
Yeah, and I seen Jalik did good. He got you guys on the box finally.
Yep. Jalik's doing great.
That was awesome.
And we just need to get them all sold, and 450 will soon be coming down the pipe here, and so. Lots of great things happening.
So no 450 for 25, we're thinking?
If I told you, I'd have to kill you.
Right.
But don't be surprised.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
What about Savachi? What do you think about his season here so far? I know he's been going through some growing pains with the bike here, especially the last few weeks. What thoughts on that?
Well, I'm just going to be super harsh and super honest. You can't in today's world, you can't take a year off and expect to come back and be competitive. I just don't believe.
True.
Right.
True. I can't argue with that.
Tomac kind of showed us that this last weekend, huh?
Yeah, I mean, dude, these young kids are so fast, and they're putting in the work, and these teams are putting in the work, and Joey's no spring chicken, and so and just taking a year off, whether you're riding or not, there is nothing like racing 35 races a year. It's a tough world. It's a dog eat dog world out there right now.
Yep. And then they add the super motocross on top of it.
Absolutely. So he started out great, and I was hoping that he was going to be able to maintain that, but he's had a few nagging injuries, and I'm not saying that he can't make it happen, but it's to be at that level. You got to be young and consistent and put forth the effort. I mean, man, right now, Deegan, what he showed yesterday, holy cow.
Yeah, that was insane. What did he end up with, the 25 or 20-something
it was
lead in the first moto?
He was 25, and then he tipped over. So I think he only won by 15.
Yeah. So he said he saw 25 on the board, and he wanted to annihilate him, and so he wanted to win by 30 seconds, and then maybe pushed it a little too hard. But yeah. The sport's super fun right now. It's I tell everybody it's a privilege that I'm at where I'm at. Triumph, they're just building, and they're the talk right now, and so I'm blessed to have good friends around me that put me in the position that I'm at, and the adventure business is just cranking, and so everything's really good.
What do you think of that Deegan kid? Does he just it seems to be you're either on one side of the aisle or the other with him. You either love him or hate him. What's your thoughts there?
I don't think you can hate him. He's super talented. He's putting in the effort, obviously. and he's been trained and coached for it. I saw an interview today. Somebody said, "Well, it took 18 years, and for it to happen." And his dad said, "We knew it was going to happen from the get-go because he's always hated to lose since he was 5 years old, and he had to drive, and so." Super talented. You have to give credit where credit is due. Until somebody can match it or beat it, you can't knock it. I'm a quiet guy. I'd rather see him be a little more quiet, but
For sure.
in today's world, quiet doesn't pay the bills. The sponsors love it, and so as long as you can talk a little smack and back it up every weekend like he is, it's going to make the sport more exciting.
100%.
I've been saying that he is what the sport needs at this point here. So,
yeah, and I know a lot of guys have, because they know that I knew Diggin when I was back in Cali and stuff, and I knew Haley when she was in diapers and when Hayden was first born, and they said, well, the main reason he's as good as he is because of his dad and all the stuff he had handed to him, but I think that has a part in it, but I don't think that that's necessarily 100% true because, like you said, he's put in the work. He's tried. I remember watching that kid when he was on a KTM 50, and he was ripping then. So, it's
one thing to have it handed to you, and it's another thing to have it handed to you and still be able to perform and back it up. You still got to win races and go out and put in results.
Exactly.
There's I can name 10 guys that not necessarily had things handed to them, but had all the support they needed. And when they got to the level that he's at right now, they completely failed.
Right.
And I don't have to name any names. Everybody that's listening to this will know who those 5, 6, 7 people are. And so, as long as you can back it up and make it happen, it's all good.
Right. So, what about Christian Janik? Are you still working with him?
Gonna ride with him this week. Man, the amateur thing's a tough world right now. The sport is definitely making some transition changes. It used to be if you won Loretta's, you had a ride, and winning Loretta's does absolutely not that it does nothing for you, but winning Loretta's does not guarantee you're going to Mitch or you're going to Star. It's tough out there. The sport's expensive. Manufacturers are cutting back on support and money, and so Christian's going to be either an amateur another year, or he's going to have to go jump in his van and go be a privateer next year.
Right.
It's tough. The guy that's going to go from the amateur to the ranks is Drew Adams, and he went to Canada, raced all the races there. He's been winning all the futures, and he's at the Lawrence's, putting in his time, putting in his work, and it's paid. It showed. It's paid off.
Yeah.
And out of all the amateurs that were at Loretta Lynn's, how many thousands were there?
Right.
4,000, 5,000. There's one that's going to have a small opportunity to make it happen.
Right. And anymore, the manufacturers don't even really look at the Pro-Am or the A-Class. They're looking at the B and C guys.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. Because some of those guys, I was watching some of those lap times, and the lap times in the B class were faster than the Pro-Am class. And the top C guys were like mid-pack or, top 5 on the B class lap times.
The guy that lived with us all summer last year put the fastest lap time in of the week.
Right. That Phineas?
No.
Oh.
Lynn.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
On the 450 B class, put the fastest time out of everybody, Pro Sport and everybody.
That's crazy. How's he doing, by the way?
He's doing good.
He's back home now?
He's back home. He got second in the 450B and did terrible in the 250, limited or something. But yeah, he's back home.
Nice.
Interesting. What do you think of these SMX races? Like, are you a fan of them? Do you like the playoff atmosphere that it kind of brings? Would you like it better if we had less other races for these guys? What's your thoughts on that?
No, I think everybody's serious sissies anymore.
Yes.
As we're talking to the Bulldog, right?
I love this guy. I love this guy right here.
I shouldn't. I don't normally do this, but I shouldn't say from back in the day. But 4 or 5 years in a row, I did over 50 races a year.
That's awesome.
That's insane.
That's awesome.
that's when the European thing was paying huge money, and so we did 36 races here, Supercross and outdoors, and we would literally go to Europe for 2 months and race. Me and Berthy, we raced 4 nights a week.
Yeah,
4 nights, race 2 nights, 1 night off, race 2 more nights, and the 20 races I did over there, I made more money over there than I did racing 36 races here, and so I get tired of hearing, oh, we got too many races. I was fortunate to go to the reveal of that whole thing at the LA Coliseum, and all the riders and manufacturers are saying, oh, there's 3 more races, we don't want to do it. I'm like, are you kidding me? The exposure you're going to get on NBC, and the $1 million you're going to get if you're going to win, and if you get 20th, you're going to get $100,000. Are you kidding me right now, dude? You don't want to race 3 more races? That's complete horseshit.
Do you think that has something to come down to where once these kids get a little better, they get it's easy money with all their sponsors and whatever, that it's like they just don't want to do it, like they're lazy, this new generation?
No, they're not lazy because they're putting in the time. It's just it's just a new generation. There's a handful that's making great money, and they're obviously they deserve it. They're putting in the work and winning championships, and so the sport's been the same forever. It's the 5 guys that put in the work and have a little luck and win titles, and it just keeps steamrolling. But I get sick and tired of it. I don't want to go do it because I'm racing too many races now. They don't know what a lot of racing is.
Right.
And then while we're on the pet peeve thing, the Motocross of Nations drives me absolutely crazy now. The fire for that's gone too. I mean, we can't even get a team around this year.
Yeah, that's why I was surprised. Usually they announce it at Redbud, and they're not even going to announce anything until the end or after Ironman, right? Or at Ironman.
Yeah.
I heard they were waiting to see what Tomac did, though.
Yeah, he's been off so long. Why is he even in contention?
I don't know why you don't send AP, Sexton, and I guess I don't know 250Ys because I've heard Deegan's having surgery, so I don't know.
Yeah. So this is what I see in that whole deal. The honor to represent your country is lost, and they just don't put forth the effort. The AMA and the manufacturers, I get the whole manufacturer side. They don't want to pay to ship all that stuff around. I get all of that. And the teams, they don't want to pay, but they can. There's enough wealthy people in this country that would donate money if they really wanted to make an effort, and they could fundraise all the money needed to send the 3 best Americans to go fight for your country.
Oh, 100%. I think that I don't know what the difference would be between like the ISDE and the designations as far as money-wise, but we've had a couple ISD qualifiers at the club, as you know, and there's guys like we did private classes and everything to help those guys go and donate all the money to them. So if I could do something like that, being as small as we are, I don't know why huge places couldn't do that. And like you said, donate and do whatever to get these guys over there, because I mean we do have some of the fastest guys in the world.
Yeah. And listen, the Europeans have stepped up their game. They're fast. I love watching MX over there.
Right.
Them guys are fast. And so on their tracks, they're super fast. Prado's going to struggle a little bit next year. Just a small. But on their tracks, they're fast.
Yeah. So you think Prado's going to struggle on the Cowie?
Supercross, absolutely. It'll be a struggle for the first year just because it's different. I mean, the whole traveling and every weekend and flying, and it's just different. It takes a year to adapt.
Right.
And so, do I think come over here and dominate? No, I don't believe that for an instant. But hopefully he's top 3 outdoors, and where he was in Supercross, top 10.
Yeah. So you don't think he's going to come over and do like what Hurlings did to us a few years ago at Ironman?
No, not with the way Chase and Jet are right now. Absolutely not.
You think Jet's going to come back as strong as he was before he hurt his thumb?
Yep. He's got the Deegan in him. He's got the dog in him. He doesn't like to get beat, and so he'll come back and be fit and ready.
One thing I noticed about Jet versus Deegan is their talent is insane, obviously, but Jet seems way more effortless than Deegan. Deegan definitely looks like he's ragging it out, feet hanging off the back.
Deegan looks like your buddy Ricky there riding.
Yeah. And then, but he he doesn't care to win by 30 seconds. As long as he wins by a tire, he's good. You know what I mean? He likes to maintain that 1 to 3 seconds, and he's okay with it. A little bit more humble.
He's been coached by family and all the best coaches, and so it's been installed in him, and that's irreplaceable.
Right.
And so that's the sign of the times. That's what's coming. That's what these parents are doing, and riding facilities and riding coaches. That's the new era.
Does that drive you crazy with Jet that he doesn't want to go out and win by 30 seconds, even though he could? Because I have another co-host that's a little more old school, and it drives him insane. He cannot give Jet credit because Jet won't do the Ricky, the Stu, all those old school guys of we're going to dominate and just beat you into a pulp by 30 seconds or more every single race. So how do you feel about that? Does that drive you nuts?
No, not at all. Listen, next year, let's just use Redbud for example. We show up in Redbud 2025, July 4th next year. Do they know who won the race?
Yeah.
Yeah, they know who won. They know who won the race. Do they know that he won by 3 seconds or 30 seconds? Absolutely not.
No, they don't care. They're just looking at who's on the top.
God, I've been saying this forever to him.
Maybe the 10% diehards, they'll know, but the other 40,000 people that were there, they only know that Jet won. They don't know that he won by 30 seconds or 3 seconds. So for the longevity of his career and being smart, no, he's 100% doing the right thing.
Cool.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I almost have more respect for him doing that because, you got the guys go out there and they'll blow it out and do 20, 30 seconds ahead, whereas Jet maintains that 3 seconds, and then if someone gets close to him, he's like, oh, okay, I'll just turn it on again for a minute and get it to 5 and then cruise again.
It's that risk to reward. We just talked about it with Deegan. He said he saw 25 seconds on, and he's like, no, I'm going to go to 30. Well, he pushed it even harder. What did he do? He crashed.
Right. Leaves a lot more room for error.
That risk to reward.
Yep.
100%. 100%.
So let's talk about the Jeff Stanton Adventure program you got going on. That blew up, huh?
Yeah, it took a few years, and really it took me time learning it and how to reach the right people. At first we're advertising in the moto world, and you guys know how the moto industry is. It's a bunch of broke 25-year-olds that's got more money in their motorcycle than they do their pickup truck.
100%.
Yep.
And so, I had to reach that guy that's 55, 65 years old that, was a fan and enjoys riding dirt bikes. And so it took me a while to figure that out and reach that crowd. But it's super successful right now. And just, we're doing great with it. We put on a great program. It's not just an adventure ride; it's the whole experience. We stay at a 5-star lodge. The food, the lodging, the camaraderie, the people there, and then we have a great time of riding. Tiger 900s through the national forest, and so people are loving it. They're digging it.
And I know something you didn't really ever do. You actually told me a while back that all the years you've lived in Michigan, you never even went to the UP until you started doing this. You started actually venturing up there. So I know you personally enjoyed a lot and even got Sarah out there on one.
Yeah. There's so much great things to see, and the people are loving it. One day we go to Lake Michigan and have lunch, and just seeing the shoreline and the lakes, and it's just beautiful up there. I do a ride up through the UP, and it's a bucket list for people to stay on Mackinac Island. One of the most highly traveled destinations last year, Mackinac Island, and so we'll do a night on Mackinac Island and go up the coast through the tunnel of trees. Just a lot of cool stuff to see and do in Michigan.
For sure. Yeah, me being from California, there's so much here that I haven't even touched. So yeah. I'm excited. One of these days I'm going to get up there with you and ride one of those things.
Absolutely.
So.
All right. Well, I think we've taken up enough of his dinner time here.
Yeah. I really appreciate you last minute, me giving you a text and you doing this for us, man.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
No worries. Anytime. It's all good. It's a beautiful night out, and I just told my wife and kids, let's go pick up Dad, and we'll just go sit on the picnic table and have a salad. And so that's what we're doing. Enjoying the clouds as they pass through, and enjoying Michigan once again.
Perfect.
Don't let him fool you. There's ice cream in his future as well.
Of course there is.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
So,
all right. Well, thanks for coming on, Jeff. We really appreciate it, man. Maybe sometime we'll get you in studio here since we're Michigan locals. So.
All right. No worries.
All right, Jeff. I appreciate it, man. I'll talk to you soon.
See you. Thanks.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
I'm just shell shocked that just happened.
Yeah.
Boom! That just happened.
Right.
You're all welcome, by the way.
That's what I was telling you before. Like the very first time I ever met that guy. So this is the story.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm
sorry you couldn't hear him. You were not plugged in.
I was like, man, I can kind of hear him over here, but
yeah.
That's about it.
Nope.
So anyway, we're at the club, and this is, I think, probably the first year as I took over as president.
Mm-hmm.
And I got the office people coming to me, and they're like, hey, we just got a phone call. And this kid wants to sign up for the team race for the hare scramble, but his uncle, he's racing with his cousin, and his uncle can't be here to sign him up. He's going to be late, but he will sign the waiver when he gets here, because if you're under 16, whatever.
Yeah.
So we're in there, and I was like, all right, well, who is it? He's like, well, here, he wants you to call him back or whatever. It was Cody Stanton, Jeff's nephew. And at the time, I didn't know. I'm talking to him or whatever, and I said, all right, well, I'll do this, but if for some reason he's not here by the time you start, I'm going to pull you because insurance, liability, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And he was super cool about it and whatever. And I was like, all right, well, what's his dad's name so when he gets here, we can, announce it or whatever. And he goes, well, don't announce it, but he goes, I'll make sure he'll come in and talk to you. And I was like, all right, well, what's his name? And he's like, Jeff Stanton. And I was like, okay, and I was kind of thinking to myself, like, okay, Jeff Stanton, but it's coincidental, probably not the Jeff Stanton, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, right on, but it like almost gave me chills. I was like, that's weird, I haven't heard that name in a minute. Sure shit, man. He gets there, and he goes, hey, are you Doug? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, I said, I know who you are. I said, I'm sorry, I'm a little starstruck. And his words to me were, he looked at me, and he held his hands up, and he goes, look at this place. You're starstruck, I'm starstruck. You're running this whole program.
Wow.
Just super, super mellow. And ever since then, we've hit it off.
You know what I forgot? I forgot to bring up that his brother came and got his stuff powder coated here.
Oh.
Because
John?
Shoot. I think so. Yeah, I don't remember. Because he came in and I got the plaques from Kev on the wall in there, the sponsor plaques or whatever, and he's like really looking at him, right? And I'm like, what is this guy like into moto or whatever?
Right.
And
was he a big dude or a little or smaller guy?
Bigger guy. It was like a dog thing for the back of his UTV or something.
I wonder if so John is Cody's dad.
Okay.
And then there's Jason. Jason's the one that runs pretty much the farm. Like all the cabbage and stuff.
I don't know. I have to go back and look.
Right.
But anyway, yeah. So he's like really looking at him, and then we're talking, we're filling out paperwork and stuff, and then he goes, and I look at his name, and then he goes, yeah. So my brother's Jeff Stanton, and I went, oh, I was trying to figure out why you were looking so hard at that stuff. Right. He's like, yeah, I saw that, and I was like, oh, okay, Supercross stuff. What's up? And I was like, oh, all right.
So fun fact: if it was John, bigger dude,
yeah,
he was actually faster than Jeff growing up.
That's awesome.
He was a bigger guy, and he started racing the 500s and stuff. But the manufacturer stuff didn't look at him; they looked at Jeff. And
yeah.
But Jeff will tell you that John was faster.
Interesting. He is. He's definitely a super humble dude there. So
yeah.
And there's so many things, not only moto wise, I'd love to talk business stuff with him. I felt bad though. I felt like we were really interrupting dinner or something. He's like, gosh, fine.
As lettuce is falling out of his mouth from
the
salad.
I would say he's eating, and it's just like, oh man, dude, like we could call you back, bro. We got some time. No, it's fine. Yeah. It's fine. So I love the raw honesty too. I knew we were going to get that out of him too when we started talking about the kids, and he was, these guys are sissies.
Yep.
Yes, thank you.
Right. Well, and it's cool. Like you said, I mean, Sarah's an awesome lady too, you know what I mean? And Torin is his son, and that was his dad sitting there too. And
yep.
I don't know, there's, like you said, didn't bother him at all. He's just a super humble person. Not the Jeff Stanton that everybody thinks he is, you know what I mean?
You mean not the guy who's like
6-time?
Yeah. Who's smooching trophy girls on the podium and stuff.
Back in the day. So another fun fact, I got married at the Stone Barn. He owned the Stone Barn down there.
Yep.
And it was a venue or whatever, and at the time, they didn't really have anywhere for them to set up for like the grooms and the brides to get ready or whatever.
Yeah.
And Nicole and them got ready inside the barn, and he actually offered the girls to get ready in his personal house.
Ah.
And Nicole's like, no, it's okay. We could do that here. You know, we don't need that much room. Let the boys do that. So Jeff's like, okay. So not only did he let us get ready in his house, but we got ready in his trophy room.
I've heard about this trophy room.
So I got to see all the trophies. He came down. He's telling, I got buddies from California came out that were in my wedding and stuff.
Yep.
And they're looking at it and just, in shock. And one of my buddies, actually, he was like, yeah, when you told me you were getting married to Jeff Stanton's, my first instinct was when I was a kid, he was a dick. and I was like, yeah, well, when he was in his heyday, aren't they all? You know what I mean? I said, but he is nothing like that. And when my buddy came out, 100% changed his view on him and everything. And
cool.
Sarah's up there doing like a charcuterie board or whatever, some cheese and crackers and whatever, and bringing them down for us. And he comes down and he's telling us all the different stories, all these trophies. He's got like samurai looking helmet things that he won at some places. And it's just
50 some races a year.
Yeah.
That's insane.
And they're bitching about
36.
Right.
I wanted to ask him. We'll have him on again. I wanted to ask him.
I was gonna say, it sounds like there's gonna be more, and he didn't sound too opposed from coming in.
No, I want to be like, so does your training change when you're doing 50 some races a year? Are you not riding during the week, like what? But I know he comes from that generation too of just ride until you can't ride anymore.
Right. It's just kind of like what Stu and when that whole Alden thing was going on. You know what I mean? That's why Stu and Alden butted heads too much, because Stu was still somewhat old school, and he's like, I need to ride.
Yeah.
This isn't working
Well,
for me.
did you hear, what was it, a couple weeks ago, I think, on Paul, Chiz was on, and they were talking about that, and Chiz was like, dude, we used to go and we would do our motos during the day. He's like, we would do 330s or something. He's like, then we'd load up and we would go to whatever it is down there. I can't even think of the name now. He's like, we would go there, and he's like, we would ride at night at what is the track down there? Where's Stu from in Florida?
Gainesville?
Yeah, but that's not the shit. I don't know. Whatever. It's if I rattle it off, you would know. But yeah, he's like, dude, then we go ride at night at the night track down there.
Dade
at
City?
this. Yes, that's it. He's like, dude, we go to Dade City at night and ride after we rode 330s during the day. And I'm just like, what? He's like, you don't even understand the hours that we would put in. And then, people are coming out talking about Ricky and stuff and the hours that Ricky would put in riding. And who was it? Was it JT or somebody? It was like, yeah, dude. Like, he's like, we would go, and he's like, Jeannie would be like, so our workout today is 340s. He's like, that's after we get up and go for a 3 to 5 mile jog in the morning.
Right.
Then we're going to do 340s. He's like, no one except Ricky ever made it through the 340s.
Right. Well, I mean, we all know Ricky changed the sport when it came to fitness and all that good stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then he's like, and then when we get done with those, he's like, then Ricky would go out and be practicing turns and practicing turns and practicing turns. And I'm just like, dude. And, it's one of those things, like, I'm fairly new to dirt bikes. I started riding dirt bikes when I was 25. I'm 35 now, so it's been 10 years. And I get a lot of, you just got to ride, man. You just got to go ride. You just got to go ride.
That's what it's called, seat time.
And I'm just like,
transfer that over to everything, seat time.
See, and it's just super weird to me because I'm just like, man, I understand it, but at the same time, I'm like, I treat it like a workout. So it's like, okay, cool. What are we doing today? We're going to do 315s, or we're going to do 310s, or we're going to do 210s and then a 20 to finish, or something like that, because like obviously I don't need to do 30 or 40 minute moto. Like that's just it's unnecessary.
Right.
And like what was it? Yesterday? No, day before. No, it was yesterday. Me and Hunter and Fisher and my kid rode the turn track I mowed in the back field at my house, and I think I rode 25, maybe 30 minutes on this turn track, right? And it's all flat. There's no jumps. And like by 20 minutes in, like my whole arm from my elbows down started going numb. I was like, oh, this is good.
Right. Yeah, so, Jeff used to do a turn track every spring. We used to go down there.
Cool.
And we do like a figure 8 turn track.
Mm-hmm.
And he would make it to where we weren't allowed to sit, stand
That's awesome.
the whole time, whatever.
Yep.
He told, don't go fast.
Nope.
Slow down to go fast, and I don't know, it's kind of crazy. I only got able to do it with him a couple times, and I remember one time we went down there, Cody invited us down because they used to ride, they have a lake down there right behind the farm.
Yep.
Small lake, borderline pond, but anyway, they go out there and they ride on the ice. And I've never done that, obviously being from California. It's like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? So
Don't we fall through? I'm confused.
yeah, well, that's the thing. We got there, and I rolled down onto the ice. Like, everybody's parked. They had, like, a line of trucks out there, and they had this course or whatever set up they were riding on. And Cody, like, flags me over, and I was like, hey, man, what's going on? I was like, where do you want me to park? And he's like, well, you can park right here on the ice with me, or you can park up there on the grass or whatever. And I was like, I'm on the ice right now? And he's like, yeah. I was like, no, fuck that. I'm going over there because I'm not having my truck at the bottom. He's like, oh, it's like 1.5 feet thick. You're fine. And I'm looking at all these F-250s and other trucks, and I'm like, no, there's a lot of weight there. I'm good. So we ended up going out there, just me being whatever. But
yeah.
So we ended up going out there, and Jeff let me ride his bike and stuff. And then he jumped on Cody's 250. We're riding around. And first off, if you've never ridden on the ice, it's insane. Like, the traction.
I have not.
The traction is absurd. It's crazy.
Interesting.
Complete opposite of what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
So I'm out there riding, whatever, and Jeff's like, no, just push it, trust the bike, lean, whatever. So we started doing that, and he gets on the 250, comes around, comes out of a corner in a wheelie, looks over at me, reaches off, and hits my fucking kill switch.
That's fucking awesome.
Insane. I was just like, I'm done. I'm over it.
That's like that, did you see that Kida Wolf clip from last week where he went over the jump next to that dude? And, like, that dude was, like, drifting over and almost hit him. And he literally, like, reaches out midair and just, like, pushes him.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, what?
Right.
Me and Grandall were talking about that last week. And I was just like, dude, at the point of I see him coming towards me, I'm just shitting my pants. Like, there's no thought process in my mind that's like, just take your hand off and push him away.
Right.
It's just like, oh, fuck. He's like,
We're
dude,
dead.
my mind is the same thing. He's like, it's just, oh, this is going to hurt so bad.
Right.
Like, I don't know. I don't know how you think about that, but
I guess supposedly that's, like, his favorite thing to do, too. So just reach over and hit your kill switch just to be funny.
I mean, on a flat thing like that, okay.
I mean, he's
can see
never
it.
going to do it to hurt you, obviously. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
just the talent that the guy still has
Mm-hmm.
to be able to do that, and with a smile on his face the whole time.
Yeah. Well, like I said, on a 95 CR 125, and I was on a 2021 YZ 250F, he, in one corner, ran away from me like I was standing still.
Right.
I mean, I might as well have been going backwards as far ahead as he was.
For sure.
It was unreal. So, all right.
Very cool guy.
Yeah, super cool. Super grateful he did that. Make sure you tell him thank you from me. And yeah, we'll have to work on, it'd be really cool to get him in studio for one of these.
Sounds like we need to go down and ride that Triumph. He pretty much.
That sounds like we need to go do that too. Yes.
I can get a hold of JT Cycle, David over there. He told me if we ever wanted to bring one out to the track, he has a demo bike. So,
yes.
So if maybe I can get Jeff to come up
Okay.
and get the demo bike.
Just tell me when.
Yep.
I will be there.
We'll do it.
Because I would love to try one of those because I've heard good things about it. I've talked to a couple people that have ridden them in the media. But I'd be interested to definitely throw a leg over it and see what it's like. So,
For sure.
All right, let's take a break. I don't know about you. I need a refill here. We'll get the camera set up for the live stream here for the 450 recap. And, yeah, we'll knock that out, and then we'll work our way through the rest of this. So
Sounds good to
we'll
me.
be right back. All right, and we're back here. We're going to do the 450 race recap. Let me get the live stream started here. Doug, feel free to talk. Say anything you want. It's no big deal.
Yep. Well, it was kind of cool just talking to Jeff. Got that done, everything. I'm ready to talk some...
Ready to talk some racing now?
Yeah, some bench racing.
Me too. This is going to be great. I'm excited about it. Okay, let's get in here. Crap. Of course, I'm not ready. Welcome, everybody on the live stream there. Thank y'all for tuning in. If anybody is watching, which I'm sure nobody is because nobody cares about us. It happens. Except for Benny Bloss. He watches the show all the time, apparently, so that's cool. Let's see here. Oh, crap. This is a professional show. This is what happens when you don't have a man behind the camera. When you are the man behind the camera, this is what happens. Is you get stuff like this going on. So, all right, there we go. Boom, we're live. We're live. Oh shoot! And now I'm listening to myself talk. All right, sweet. There we are. Look at us. We're on TV. Wow, that's
Super
great.
cool.
That's cool. You ever been live streamed before?
Never.
Oh man. Well, we're taking virginities here all around, buddy. Don't you worry. All right. I think I'm the only one watching. That's super cool. All right.
Yeah. Nicole says she's trying to look at it and she can't figure it out. Help her out.
Go. Jesus. Now I'm looking at all your sexting with your wife here. This is terrible. Why did this scroll like that? Stop it.
Definitely didn't have that.
Okay. I don't want to text your wife. That's weird. Your wife should be in studio with us, is what we really need.
I tried hard, dude. I tried. She wanted to come as support, she said.
As support.
And I said, it's a super small room. You're going to be over in the back, outside of camera, giggling, laughing, talking
No, she should have been in the chair right there.
But
she would have been perfect for this.
Won't. I tried to get Josh to come, too, and Josh is like, I don't want to be on TV.
Oh, my God. Look, this is small. Hey, there's 6 of you watching now. Thank you all for watching. Again, this is the live preview that we're doing. This is like this whole transition is the most terrible thing to do here. This is the live member preview. Okay, so basically for 99 cents a month, you guys will can get the entire show live streamed here. We're gonna start that for 2025, so you can sign up now. It'll cost you a whole $4 this year, and I'll try to do some live streams as we go. If you want to sign up for the $4.99 a month package there for the members. We'll do what I'm going to call a Thirsty Thursday bench racing session where we can either talk moto or we can talk non-moto. I'll talk anything with you. Religion, politics, doesn't matter. I'm in. Conspiracy theories, Kennedy assassination, all of it. You want to talk flat earth? We can talk flat earth. I'm all about that life. So anyway, thank you all for tuning in here. All right. We're going to wrap up the 450s here. So your 450 race recap brought to you by our friends at Worx. Always well hung, just like Justin Barsha. Have you seen that unit? I got to ask all the new co-hosts. Have you seen that unit?
I try not to look.
It's gigantic. It's like a fucking, it's like a tube. Like a paper towel tube.
Feel sorry for his wife.
His poor wife, man. God, that's just, it's a lot. Where's that go? I don't understand. Anyway, all right. And Worx actually out at my house this week. Got all my fascia and soffit tacked back up nicely. House doesn't look like it's falling apart. It's great. Got a new gutter and downspout in one area. It's fantastic. Can't wait to have more done.
Yeah, no, they do an awesome job. They've done all the gutters and stuff out at the club and everything else. So
hell yeah.
Yep.
They're members there too, right?
Associate members. They were members, and then they got super busy with their work, so they just couldn't put in the time. So
I understand.
They were actually one of the generous ones and said, hey, we're going to step back for a minute because we can't, rather than some of the other members that I've had that just ghost me.
That'll happen.
Yeah.
I know Hallman was trying to get me to join. He was like, man, just join, man. Just join. And I was like, bro, I would love to. I don't have time for that.
I finally got his punk ass to
he
sign
told
up,
me
so.
he told me he's in there now, so I was like, well, that's good, man. That's just another person I know now that I can just call and be like, hey, you want to go ride? Yeah, sure. So
I think he was scared at first, but I think he's really going to enjoy it. So
yeah, well, like I said, it's one of those things I'd love to do, but you know how it is, man. You're running a business, well, a couple of businesses, and
you don't have to tell me. I run my business still 60, 70 hours a week, plus run the club and everything else. That's why a lot of people...
You want to start a podcast, too? I can help you with that.
Yeah, no offense, but like that's why when people come and whine to me and be like, oh, I got to work, I got this, I got that, and I was like, don't talk to me about this shit, because I can
you
give
work
you a
at 9
list.
to 5, sucker. Like, well, I don't want to talk to you about it.
We can ask my wife how much time I actually put into this, so...
Man. You're just a braver man than me, okay?
Yeah.
I'm just over here I built my own track, kind of. What I mean is I got to play on my zero turn more because I just mowed down the hay that was in the backfield. But it's awesome.
Right.
All right, so let's get this fired off here. 450 race recap. So Sexton goes 2-1. Him and Hunter trading back and forth here. Hunter really wants one of these. Said he's going to sandbag the first moto next weekend to hopefully win the second moto to win an overall.
I don't know how well that's going to work out for him, but...
I don't know, man. Here's the thing with Chase. Okay, he's going to win this title. That's great. I'm going to ask you the same question I've asked everybody else, and everybody who's watching, who's watched the other shows, are going to be like, dude, shut the fuck up. Quit asking this question. Does Sexton's season look this way if Jet doesn't get hurt at Hangtown?
That's a hard question because No.
Thank you. Okay, great.
Jet,
there we go. Justin, are you listening to this? I am right about all this stuff. Stanton says I'm right.
Jet is Jet. Jet's the guy right now. I do think that with Jet being gone, to be honest with you, I think it helped Chase.
100%.
Because Chase is a different guy since he's been gone. The
100%.
confidence there, everything else.
Well, he's different, but same at the same time. Because we're still tucking that front, son.
Yeah, he did the one time.
Twice.
Once.
Last week also.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm talking buds.
Twice.
Anyway, got back up. Still got back up and beat him.
That was
Back in the day, he would tuck and stay where he was at or fade back.
Yes.
So that's where I mean where he's different. He did tuck the front end,
yep.
got back up, passed all the guys, and then gapped him by, 8 seconds, I think, when it was all said and done?
It was a lot. He was, he was rolling. He was rocking and rolling. So, but it is funny that he still tucks that front.
Yeah, he has a hard time with that front end. Always has, just like in Des Nations. When he was out there, he faded that. We were on the fence.
Yeah.
You and Justin watching him.
Yes. Yeah, I've said this before. I'll say it again just so that you've heard it now, is that I just don't think his season looks this way if Jet doesn't get hurt. If Jet doesn't get hurt, I think we see a lot more status quo like we saw before. And in fact, I think Hunter is still number 2.
I disagree with that.
So here's my thought process on that. We can go into this here. So I think Hunter's number 2.
Don't make me bring back up the whole 11-0 thing.
I think Hunter is better when Jet is there for him to chase. Because it's not, oh man, I'm racing somebody else. It's just, fuck my little brother. I'm going to go beat him. So he's faster, I think, because he doesn't think about it as much. Where I think when he's racing these other guys, subconsciously, not even a conscious thing, there's just a difference there, and it is, okay, it's somebody else, essentially. Where, like, when it's his brother, I mean, we saw this, look at High Point. Him and Jet ran away from everybody. Like, it was ridiculous. Where, like, we haven't really seen that with Hunter.
I get that, but I also think that, like, when the first couple races, when Jet wasn't there, Hunter sucked.
Yeah.
And everybody thought that because Jet wasn't there to pull him along.
That's what I'm saying, is if Jet's there, I think he pulls him along, and I think Hunter is solid number 2, also, as he is right now, but I think that he's a solid number 2 ahead of Chase, because I just don't think Chase is doing what he's doing. I think Chase has a mental block at that point.
I don't know. I kind of disagree with that. I think Chase.
Well, we'll see come SMX here.
Agreed. If Jet's 100%, but I don't even think Jet has to be 100% to unfortunately beat those guys. You know what I mean?
Do you think when, I mean, we already heard what Jeff thought, but when Jet comes back here for SMX, you think he's going to be subpar, or you think you were going to jump right back in and be, because I mean SMX, so those are 2 moto formats still, correct, is what we did last year. That's what it was.
Right. And it's more outdoor. Well, I guess these tracks are going to be a little bit more supercrossy than what they were, because is the Charlotte the only one that's outdoor? Like, as far as like at a
No, they're all 3. So it's Charlotte, which is the 4-lane drag strip, and then it's Texas Motor Speedway, and then it's the Vegas 4-lane drag strip.
So are they all going to be set up like Daytona-ish?
I think they're all going to be very Charlotte-y-ish from last year.
Okay.
To be honest with you, is what I think it's going to be.
Jet's good Supercross, but I think he's better outdoors.
Yeah.
So I think even if he's only 80%, I still think he's going to be out there, and he'll just maintain like we were talking with Jeff. I don't think he's going to go out there and like, fuck you, I'm going to beat you by 20 seconds just to show you I'm still.
I don't think he'll do that either. But I think he wins.
But I do think that Sexton's going to come in like, I just won the outdoors. Yes, you weren't there, but I'm going to prove that I can still beat you.
I think Sexton has a mental block when it comes to Jet.
Think so?
100%. I think as soon as Jet's back on that start line, I think you see Sexton just
fold.
Yep, like a cheap suit.
I hope not.
I mean,
nothing against. I like Chase. I like Jet. I like Hunter. I like them all. But I just want to see good racing. So
I do too.
I hope that it's not one of those Deegan walk away or Jet walk away or maintain like.
Yeah.
Oh,
no, I hope it's good
close.
racing. I just don't think he can beat him. I honestly, I don't think he can beat him. And yes, I guess you could say Miguel Frica. I don't know. I do underestimate Sexton, I guess.
Yeah.
So, but until he beats Jet, straight up,
I also think that Sexton looked a lot better on the KTM than he did the Honda.
So it is coming around, and it's interesting because had this outdoor series not happened, there was some pretty heavy talk / understandings that this 2-year KTM deal might have been a 1-year KTM deal. Now, where does he go? I don't have any damn clue at all. But there was, from what I understand, after Supercross, it was very heavy, like, F this bike and this team, like, this didn't work at all. And now it's not that. Now we're 100% turned around, from what I understand. But there was some pretty heavy not going to be a thing, which was interesting.
Yeah, I didn't hear that, but I don't know. I guess only time will tell, right?
We're going to see in just a few weeks here.
Right.
But he'll wrap the title next week. Does he have a 25-point lead? Is he going to wrap it after first moto?
I think he has a...
Hold on, we're looking it up.
I want to say it was 27, yeah?
So 454, and Hunter has 426. So that is not quite 30. Yeah, 27. Yeah, so he'll probably... Well, depends. If Hunter wins the first moto, then he won't. But he'll wrap it, that's for sure. Turn the microphone on there off. All fun and games are over when Jet... Are the microphones... Are they really not working? Can nobody hear me? They should be working. Let's see here. Let's turn it up a little bit. Maybe
Nicole,
that'll
you're
help.
watching. Can you hear? Text me and let me know.
I always worry because that stupid little dongle thing I always think isn't going to work.
Right.
I hate that about that. Thank y'all for tuning in there, watching the live. So if it's not working, please let us know. But anyway, all right, moving on here. So Hunter goes 1-2 for second. So we're still selling 2025s now, which is great. Okay, she can hear us. Jacob, you are...
It's your TV, man.
It's your TV, man. Figured out. All right. Anyway, so Hunter goes 1-2 for second. Really wants one of these overalls. So the crazy thing is, and this was brought up on something I was listening to yesterday, he's only a rookie. So, like, he's going to get better, right?
Right.
Like, we've seen this in Hunter's career. It's a slow burn for him always.
For sure.
So, you put him another few years down the road, I mean, what does that look like?
Yeah, rookie on the 450, but I mean, obviously, he's still got that, you know what I mean? The mentality and whatever. He's just a little slower getting to it than Jet was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I definitely think they're both better on a 450 than they were on 250s.
Yes.
So, Hunter's going to get a win. Win? I don't know.
How?
Especially with his brother coming back. That's not going to give him any favors.
Yeah, I don't know about this year, but, man, in the future, Jet gets another injury for some reason, which could happen.
Yeah.
I mean, he could easily be in Chase's position.
Re-injure that thumb just like Coop did.
Terrible. It's only sprained this time.
Yeah.
It's only sprained. So, all right. AP goes 3-3 for third. He was a little bummed at first moto on the podium there, which was interesting. You don't usually see that out of that guy. He's usually excited all the time.
Right. Like they made I think Stu made the comment on the broadcast, though. It's crazy because Duke could get third or fourth, and you would think that dude won.
Yeah.
He is such a fan favorite. Everybody loves.
It's
AP.
hilarious, and he's not even a real cowboy.
No.
He's from Ohio, bro.
Yeah.
You're not like a full real cowboy.
I was just telling Nicole this the other day. It's actually really cool. I would think he would be a super cool dude to hang out with. You know what I mean? Like off scene.
Yeah.
He just seems like a cool guy. We ran into him when we went to Daytona back actually right before COVID.
Okay.
And we were all at a restaurant, and AP, his wife and kids were actually there, and they got up and left, and me and my buddy looked over at him and said, "Hey man, good luck tomorrow, have fun, go get some rest." And he said, yeah, I'd rather be here partying. You guys look like you're having way more fun. Just did his goofy little laugh and walked away. You know,
Yeah.
it was cool.
Yeah, he's I don't know. He seems like a cool guy. I've never really talked to him that much. I don't fangirl well, so
Yeah, that's the only time I've ever talked to him. But you always got to go out of your way to say hi.
yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So Stu goes 6-5 for fourth.
I was super pumped on that.
That was a great ride by him, dude.
And
That was a great ride.
Even JS7 was a little impressed.
Yeah.
He was talking about it.
Yeah. I mean, you have to be. He hasn't rode outdoors in 10 years. He's now riding it, and he ends up fourth here overall. I mean, that's okay. That's respectable for
100%.
for how his last couple of years have gone.
Right.
Yeah.
I did hear that the Husqvarna clan is going away, though, so I'm not sure what's
Yeah,
gonna
I don't
happen
know
with
what's
that,
happening
so
with
I don't
all
know where
that.
he's going to be.
Look, next year is going to be interesting, and whatever, we'll see. I've speculated on that, but I don't know for sure. I know there's a combo thing going on next year because there are contracts that have to be honored. And then after that, I don't know. So he says it just sounds like it's coming from the camera, not from the actual mic is all. We can hear, but it's really low is all. Not my janky show, just trying to help. Well, we appreciate the help.
Right.
I'm not sure Look, we're just going to keep rolling it. I'm not going to play with it. It says that she should be able to schedule them after.
Oh, what the?
I don't know what I'm reading from
I
you.
don't know either. It was.
You keep trying to get me to read your sex messages to your wife, and I don't want to.
Relax.
Please stop.
Nicole just said she can hear loud and clear. So.
Okay, well, if you turn that around one time and I see your butt naked, that's it. The show's over. We're done. All right.
You just be jealous. That's all.
Is your butt shaved? Did you get your butthole bleached?
Of course.
Okay, well then I will be jealous. You are from California, so that makes sense. So, Jesus,
we're getting too far.
We're off track here. All right, Ando goes 5'6" for 5th. This is just who he is.
Yeah,
3 to 5 guy.
How much longer do you think he's doing this?
Well, I know he's got a deal for next year with Cowie, and then I don't know once we get past that.
Sucks. I really like Ando.
Yeah, I do too. I don't think I could see him going 3 more years. I think I could see him doing one after that, 1 2-year deal with Triumph.
Do you think he moves to Triumph?
Well, his old best buddy's in charge of that team. So
who's that?
Bobby Reagan, or no? Who was the Husky guy? Right? Was that right? Who did Husky before Husky kicked him out?
Bobby Reagan was Yamaha, right?
Yeah. So what's the other guy's name? Bobby. Shit. Now I'm blanking. I'm gonna look like an idiot here because of course I can't think of this. Yeah, it was whoever owned the Husky team before that he rode for.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he does that. Or he does the
I also know
Triumph team.
There's guys that are within the Triumph team that don't get along with Ando very well though. So.
Well, that's not a surprise either, man.
Yeah.
He's another one of those guys that I am right in his zeitgeist with people that I know that know him, and I have not met or talked to him yet, so I cannot wait. Also, has a hammer.
Yeah.
Saw it last year, Iron Man. I was like, Jesus, God, okay, let's look away. Look away. Don't stare directly in the eye. God, blind you. His poor wife, too. Jesus. These guys, I don't know where it comes from, so... Thank you all who are watching on the live. Really appreciate it. If the sound's not that great, sorry. It's an iPhone with a fucking dongle in it, so whatever. Anyway, Christian Craig, 7'8" for 6th. He's got basically no left arm.
I was going to say, they were talking that he has no tricep.
Nothing.
That's
I haven't
crazy.
seen it in person, but I've heard it's gnarly. I've heard it's like looking at literally like a baby leg, and not like not like a Jason Anderson, Justin Barcia baby leg, like a baby leg on his arm. But he did hint in an interview I heard this week that he's not done yet.
No, I mean
He has something for next year.
Since he's come back, he looks better.
Yeah, he's getting there.
He's not he's been more of a top 10 guy instead of a top 15.
Yes. And I think it'll be better. I've said the whole time I was waiting for outdoors, him to actually have an outdoor season here on the Husky to really see if it was the bike or him. I don't know. I think it's been a little bit the bike, but we'll see. I'm very curious where he goes next year, but I'm highly suspicious that it might be a Firepower Honda or a Club MX bike. One of the two.
I see Club MX because he's familiar with the Yamahas.
Yeah.
Firepower Honda, why? Because Dino's leaving? Or semi-retired?
Yes, and factory connections involved with that team, so that's why I kind of
just
see
recently,
that.
though, right?
Yeah, that was with the Dylan thing, so I can see him staying on for that. But I don't know. It's interesting because I've also heard him linked to being a star test rider,
And just being done.
I don't know. This is weird.
It all depends on how that arm's going to hold up, I guess, huh?
Well, we won't know till we get through SMX here. So, Eli Tomac makes a triumphant comeback, goes 4'11" for 7th. Second moto was definitely start dependent.
Yeah, I seen that too, like with Deegan, for instance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just...
That track sucks.
It looks fun.
It looks like it'd be fun to ride, but it sucks to race.
Right, but it's got very narrow spots, I noticed.
Well, and
one
everything
line.
is downhilled, off-cambered, so it's like it just funnels.
Right.
And like I didn't really pay attention to it till yesterday, and then watching that Deegan battle, which we'll get to in the second moto with Romano, and I'm going, this is stupid. Like, Deegan should have blown by him, but there was just nowhere to do it.
I think he was being super cautious too. Like he
Little
said in the
bit,
interview,
yeah.
he wanted to hold this. He wanted to hold that plaque. You know
Yeah.
what I mean, so I get it.
But I mean, you look at like Eli. That first moto, he was fine.
No, he looked good.
Like, he got a decent start. He was up front, and boom, bingo, bango. We were done. Like, no problem there. So I think he's got it. I just think that track sucks so bad. I'll be interested to see next week at Ironman in person what it looks like.
For sure.
I'll be paying attention to him. Be paying attention to Kenny, which we'll get to here in the halftime report.
Yeah, I'm super.
We're gonna
curious on the 250.
we're gonna talk about in the halftime report, okay? Because I got to ask everybody that comes on. Brock Tickle comes back. I still don't understand why they have him listed in Michigan. He's a North Carolina guy.
Yeah,
it's unreal.
I don't know, but it was impressive. I actually talked to him at Redbud and stuff, and he's actually super pumped to be back on the bike. As far as racing,
Yeah.
I mean, he never stopped riding. He's their test guy and everything else, but he, I talked to him a little bit over there, and he liked it. But yeah, top 10 for a
He's
non-drop gate
Yeah.
drop guy. I'm impressed.
He said he has scratched that itch, and he's excited to get back to work testing Supercross for 2025.
Over it.
Yep. Basically,
Done with the
man, I
welts on
really
his
thought
chest.
I had something, and then, Dungy-esque
Yeah.
here.
Did
Yeah.
you see his welts on his chest after Redbud?
Yes.
Holy shit.
Gnarly.
Yeah.
Gnarly. F that. No, thank you.
Nicole asked me, she goes, "What are all those from?" I said, "From rocks." She's
Yeah.
like, "Holy shit."
Like, I'll tell you what, babe, go stand over there. Let me throw rocks at you as hard as I
Yeah.
can.
Out of a paintball gun.
Yeah, there you go. We'll just stand there within 5 feet with a paintball gun and shoot you, and let's see what you look like. Yeah,
Right.
exactly. So, Phil, 8-12 for 9th. Are you going to miss Phil?
I'm gonna miss Phil.
I miss Phil already.
I actually have one of his infamous 69 plates hanging up in my shop.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I love it.
That's fucking awesome.
He no, I think he's gonna be a great ambassador for the sport still. I still think he's gonna be heavily involved.
I think so, too.
I think he's over it. I don't think he's pushing like he was at the beginning of the season. You know, I think it's all starting
Yeah.
to sink in, especially after Unadilla when they gave him the plaque. You know, like
Grand Marshal, everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think it is finally starting to sink in, and the whole filthy Phil is getting a little soft towards the end because I think he's getting a little emotional. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
But-
think so, too.
But no, I love Phil. I think he's cool.
Yep.
You know, and as much as I don't know the guy, I feel like I know him, especially from Pulp. You know what I mean? Like he's just
That's the hard part about this, and I've said this, I've been talking to people about this recently. That's the hard part about it with doing what I do. I know everything about these guys. I know who they are. I know where they're from. I know how they ride. I know who their wives are. I know they got kids. I know all this stuff, right? Half of them don't have half a fucking clue who I am. So to walk up and start talking to them is the most weird thing ever, because
Right.
you're just like, well, I know everything about you, and you don't know my fucking name.
Right.
So what's up? Hi, I'm Travis. It's nice to meet you. I run a talk shit radio, and we just tell you guys how terrible you all are all the time, and I'm just a fat old guy. And
Right.
they're like, yeah, fuck off.
right.
Understand. See you later. Thank you.
That's why I like talking to the mechanics a lot. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because
Yeah.
just like when I introduced you to Christian,
Yep.
he's just super cool guy, but you would never think that you're talking to the fastest guy out there right now, his mechanic. You know
Yep.
what I mean? So I don't know. It's cool being able to be like that too.
I really want to do an interview with Duff. I just think that would be fun. I just want to be like,
So
what is it like being on camera with those guys all the effing time?
Right. Well, and Duff's been in the sport way
Long time.
longer than Deegan. You
Which
know
is
what I mean?
crazy.
But-
He doesn't look that old.
No, but nobody knew who he was until Deegan. Mm-hmm. For the most part. You know what I mean?
I had a slight idea because of him working with Brayton, and Brayton would always talk about Duff, and I was like, oh, yeah, okay, all right. So, but, yeah, I don't know. It's weird because, like, to me, some of these guys who are mechanics, like the guy who used to be Zacho's mechanic or whatever, before he retired, God, what was that guy's name? I cannot think of it now. I'm terrible with names tonight. But anyway, you, like, see some of those guys. Some of those guys look like they've been around for years.
Right.
And then you look at Duff, and you're like, he's like 30, right? And you're like, no, he's been wrenching for 20 fucking years.
Right.
And it's like, wait, what? he looks like he's 30. So he started when he was 10? Like, I don't understand. Yeah. So I don't know.
And
It's crazy.
Have you talked to Duff in person?
No.
So he's a pretty cool guy. Like, we met him at Redbud a couple times, and he goes and trolls the B-lot and shit, you know what I mean, just to see what's going on. It's funny, but, yeah, he's damn near, like, my youngest daughter, she gets all geeked when she sees him, and, like, she wouldn't even know who he was if it wasn't for Deegan, you know what I mean, so.
I just wonder what it's like being in that atmosphere of the Deeks. But he at the same time, he seems very perfect for that atmosphere.
No, for sure. He fits in perfect.
Like, he does, like, because there are some of those guys that, like, they don't want to be on camera. They don't want to be known. They're just there to do their jobs, and, like, that's it. Where, like, him, it's like, he plays with it. And it's like, all right, that's cool. I enjoy that. So,
It's just like, Brandon Zimmerman.
yeah.
You know Zim? So
Yep.
if you talk to him about how he was upset about how him and Adam broke up and he didn't get to go with them, and then he ended up being Chase's mechanic and whatever. So I don't know, it's kind of cool to see some of those local guys go to the top too.
Yeah, the Zim thing was interesting. I think I DM'd him after the whole Sexton deal to try to talk to him or have him on talk about it, but he did not want to talk about it.
I know when, because Chris, my buddy Chris Failing, you know him, he's pretty good friends with Zim, and when like the whole Adam thing went down, they wouldn't let him bump up to the 450s with Adam, so he stayed down, and actually Mitch had him working him in the shop. So he's still with Pro Circuit, still on the team until he got win with Chase. But the whole mechanic thing's cool though. Like, I remember when, do you know Ollie?
Yeah.
So Ollie was Faulkner's
Yep.
ranch for a while, and I was talking to him, and he was super frustrated with Faulkner because of the whole girl bullshit that was going on between Sexton and Faulkner and all that whatever's going on.
Dude,
that next year is when he ended up going and being with Barsha. So he said, yeah, I'm over it. I'm out of here.
there was a lot in that Faulkner atmosphere with his parents' divorce that ended up coming into the paddock and all sorts of weird shit like that. That was I actually feel bad for that kid of like how things have gone, of not only the bad luck he's had, but then you get all that stuff too, and it's like, oh man, brother, just the thoughts that you got to have watching Sexton win a Supercross title and win a motocross title in the 450s and like
Jet for that matter.
Yeah,
because I mean he was running bar to bar with Jet before Jet landed on him.
I mean he was smoking Sexton in 250 class.
Right.
So I don't know. Anyway, where are we at? Oh, Justin Cooper goes 24 for 10th. That crash was gnarly.
Yeah, it was.
Did you see the video Vital got of it? And he just laid there for a second. Like, he did not move.
Yeah, when he got up, he didn't know where his bike was.
No. They said, oh, well, the camera angle. No. He didn't know where his bike was. He was going the wrong direction for a
100%.
second. That was another one of like, maybe the Alpine Star guys should have been like, hey, brother, come on over here. Let's chat for a sec, you know? But I mean, fourth that second moto. And what have you thought of his rookie season here? Because I think it's been fine.
Yeah, I think Coop's doing good. I think he's another guy that's super underrated.
Yes.
And I'm going to be super bummed if he loses his ride. Because there has been talk that he might be losing his ride at Star. Like when people came in, when we won Designations.
Yeah.
People are like, why is Coop on there? Should be this, should be that, should be whatever. And he came out and he did the best out of the three.
Mm-hmm.
He performed.
Yep.
So I think he's a super underrated guy. I'm a Coop fan.
He's kind of like Dungy 2.0 without the titles.
A little bit.
But like as far as podiums and stuff go, like
Diesel that just
goes out there and does the work.
But Dunge got recognition and Coop don't.
Yeah.
That's the bummer part.
He's just always flown right under that radar of the good guys. It's very strange. But I've said it before and I'll say it again. If Star gets rid of him, it's fucking dumb.
Yep.
It's absolutely all the 250 guys you sign and you can't come up with a little bit of salary for him.
But Bobby likes to throw that money around. He just wants the championship on 250s and 450s.
That's because Bobby doesn't have any kids, man. So he's like, fuck it, I'm just going to spend it.
Were you when was that when Ferrandis was on the team and he came up and he's like,
sorry to interrupt you. Bobby Hewitt is who runs the Triumph team.
There it is.
Like, yep. Sorry.
Bobby.
That came to my mind. I was like, gotta throw it out there. Anyway, go ahead.
Anyway, he was up on the stand and Ferrandis just won the title. Mm-hmm. And he's like, this is what an all-American team looks like and stuff. And Ferrandis is looking at him like, dude, what? You know what I mean? So I don't know. He's yeah. Congrats to them, but when you have a 45-man team, it's kind of hard not to win both sides.
Well, you know, the other manufacturers are catching on. Pro Circuit's signing like 87 guys for next year.
Who's all on there that you know of?
Faulkner's re-signed. Hammaker's re-signed.
McAdoo.
McAdoo's re-signed. Keep running down the list.
Banks just came.
Marchbanks is in there. Masterpool got a deal.
He did end up getting a deal.
Masterpool's got a 2-year deal in your indoor-outdoor.
He's another guy that I'm super pumped for because that kid deserves it.
Who's the other kid that rode for him this year? There's another one. Oh, Kitchen.
Oh, yeah.
Kitchen's on there.
Yeah, he'll stay, obviously.
And then I don't know what the Adams situation is.
Well,
I'm honestly surprised he hasn't been poached by Star yet.
Talking to Jeff, it sounds like he's going to be up on that team. I mean,
that's what I've heard, but
redheaded Ricky.
We'll get to that. All right, Roman Pope, 12-13 for 11th. Freddie Noren, 17-9 for 12th. Michigan's own Marshall Welton goes 13-15 for 13th. Dylan Ferrandis, 37-7th. I don't know what happened to that first moto. He must have crashed. For 14th. Colin Park, 11-18th for 15th. He just wants a top 10. Derek Kelly, 15-17. If you have anything on any of these guys, feel free to stop me. 15-17 for 16th. Henry Jacoby, 10-37 for 17th. Chiz gonna chiz, goes 16-19 for 18th. Grant Harlan, 30-14 for 19th. And Ari Koulos goes 14-26 for 20th. To round out your top 20 there. Let's see here. Where the fuck is Falkirk? Tristan Pordon, Falkirk. Doesn't give me a country. Weird. Jace Kessler made the motos, 32-30 for 33 overall. And that's it for Michigan people. Cool.
It is cool to see Kessler and Welton up there, though.
Big old RevX logo on Kessler's jersey there. That always seems to manage to make it on TV, which is hilarious.
The Unadilla.
Yeah.
Seen it huge. I was like, holy shit.
There it is.
Yep.
All right. Anything else 450-wise before we take another break here?
I think I'm good. I don't know.
Okay.
I was impressed. Fun racing.
It's getting to the end of the year, so it's kind of,
Right.
I mean, Tomac came back. Okay, that was fun to watch. Outside of that, everything was status quo, basically.
I was hoping that Mookie was going to hang on to that third place. So
That would have been cool.
That would have been cool for sure.
But, I mean, top 4 outdoors. He's not an outdoor guy.
No.
Them dreads just hold you down outdoors. You know what I'm saying? All right. So thanks everybody who tuned in for the live show. Let's see. You forgot Kitchen. No, I remembered Kitchen at the end. Deegan said in the press conference he broke his wrist. He will not move up to 450 till he wins 250 Supercross championship. Well, we'll see. I don't think
it'd be a smart move if he went straight to 450 just yet.
So we were kind of talking about him possibly racing a 450 at Ironman because the title's wrapped. But then he made mention in the press conference that he's excited to race Kenny, so I don't think that's going to happen. But I do know there were rumblings of that because I kind of made that up last week. And then I talked to some people, and I found out, no, there's legit rumblings about this going through the Star Truck of him possibly riding a 450, which I think is the move. I think he should.
I don't know. The way he rides that bike and how he's to the moon on it, I think he's going to be more of... He should stay on the 250. Just my thought.
So here is my thought on him riding the 450 at Ironman, okay? Kenny's riding 250, which again we'll get to here. If that's been your 450 race recap brought to you by our friends at Gutterworks. Thanks for that. If Kenny comes out and beats him on 250, it's a terrible look. Terrible. There's nothing, no way you can spin that in the media to make that look like, hey man, everything's fine. No. Guy who's rode 450 class forever on a 25-year-old Suzuki with a Kickstarter just beat you. Do I think that's going to happen? I give it like a 15% probability. But if it does, that's not cool. If you move to the 450s, even if you just get dropped, you're totally cool. We're just learning. Brian on camera, we're just learning, man. Like, we're just out here. We're just figuring things out. We're going to go 450 eventually, so whatever. Or he does well, which I think he'd podium, to be honest with you. And boom, then you're podium 450 class. And then you're like, what's up? We can dominate anywhere. And in a atmosphere of all... What can we do to spin everything to make everything, play on the internet? I think the 450 is the move at Ironman. You got the title. Doesn't matter.
I agree with that. But as far as bumping straight to the 450 and staying 450, I don't think he should.
There was a lot of he was going 450 next year.
I know.
And had he won that Supercross title, he probably would be, to be honest with you. I think that's the only reason
But then
he's not.
where's that leave started then? Then they got Eli, they got Cooper,
He wasn't going
they got
450 on Star.
Yeah.
Kawasaki's trying to sign him. From what I understand.
But they took Prado, so that's not going to happen.
Well, I understand that, but I also understand that if the Deegan thing worked out, Prado probably wouldn't have had that ride.
Gotcha.
So
that tells us he's not going there then.
Who?
Deegan, because Prado.
No, not for next year. No, and I don't think he's not going 450 next year. He's still gonna be on the 250. But the other thing I do understand is that Monster is trying to stroke a gigantic check to keep him on a Monster team for 450s.
Yeah, but I don't see him going back to KTM anyway.
No,
I think that ship is sailed.
He's I think the Monster tie-ins too much.
Yeah.
Is what it is. The big question I think now turns into, does he go Honda, Star, Kawasaki, or their own deal?
As long as Honda has the Lawrences, I don't see him going there.
No, because they hate each other.
Yeah, too much ego under 110.
They hate each other.
And I think that's pretty much one of the reasons why Chase left, too.
No. You're totally wrong. You're totally wrong. Just listen to what Chase says. You're totally wrong. You're totally wrong, man. No, he didn't leave because of that, man. No, that's not the case. That's not the case. You're starting to sound like me. You're starting to sound like an idiot, all right? The internet's going to come after you. Don't read the comments after that.
Yeah.
Don't read the comments after the show. It won't go well. No, I'm really torn. I'm about 50-50 shot right now that Deegan's do their own 450 team.
That'd be cool.
I just think that... So... I think out of everybody...
Who are they going to get on the team? They don't get along with anybody.
Dax Bennick.
The one. Maybe.
I'm just saying. So, here's the thing, I think. The Deegans are very business-minded in this. Out of everybody, they're the business people, right, of the moto industry here. The amount that they can sell sponsorship-wise in 450s, unparalleled to what anybody else could do.
They wouldn't have
and they're so big... You can't, what are you going to do? Let's say they try to pull some shit where they show up with a Ford Raptor to set next to the truck at the Supercross. They're going to do the same thing they did with RCH and tell them, oh, you can't do that. So you're going to take your biggest star, because let's face it, Deegan is your biggest star, and you're going to tell them that they cannot pit in the pits. Okay, guess what? Your entire 3/4 of your pit presence is going to move outside your pits then down the road and park with that Ford truck. Right. And everybody's going to go with them.
Right. Well, they should get that Ford, you know what I mean, in there. Yeah. Just like Stu and Ricky back in the day having the Chevy logo, big old bow tie on their shirt. Yeah. Why not have that blue oval on there?
That's what I'm saying. I just feel that coming at it from a business point of view, number one, they can go to any manufacturer. There's no way any manufacturer is going to be like, nope, you cannot have this. Right. They can go to anyone and get anything they want. I mean, dude, I found out the other day, you could buy the same bike Jet rides for what was it, 150 grand or something? You can go to Honda and buy a Honda race bike from them, direct from them for 150, I think is what it was.
That's insane.
And I mean, it is every factory part you fucking wanted that Jet has is on that bike. You can do the same thing with KTM. I don't know if Yamaha and Kawasaki do it, but I know for sure Honda, KTM do that.
That's insane. So...
You don't think the Deegans can sell a sponsorship that's going to buy 10 of those?
Right.
Sure. and that's not your main sponsor. That is, you get a little logo on the on the rear fender.
Right.
Sponsor pays for 10 of those bikes. So, yeah, that's my only thought, is that they could sell it so much harder than what they would do being on a team. I understand the 250 class, they really wanted that development and to get in and obviously show what they are. But I do think when you go 450, man, I think, and maybe it doesn't happen. Maybe it doesn't. But I have a hard time believing when, at the way they look at it, which is a lot more dollars and cents. And you could look at it you could see it. We'll get into it later. All right, so we're going to take a break. Thank you all who tuned into the live. Really appreciate it. Join the members area. Everybody watching the recording here, we're going to take one more break. And then we're going to come back. We're going to do Complete Racing Solutions halftime report. And we are going to jump into our 250 race recap. And we'll wrap this up. So we'll be right back. All right, and we're back. Complete Racing Solutions halftime report. Make sure to check out Complete Racing Solutions. They present the show as well as the halftime report. This month here, we are advertising Coach Rob's 30-minute express workouts. So if you are an old guy like me and Doug, and you only got limited amount of time, you got kids, you got a job, you own a company, whatever, you're trying to get your workout in, 30 minutes or less on these express workouts. They will help you out tremendously. I do way more than 30 minutes, so I'm not even going to act like I don't. but they are on there, so make sure to check out CompleteRacingSolutions.com and sign up for those. You can do one a day, you can do two a day, you can do as many as you want to in a day, but they're helpful. They'll get you a full body workout there, and I believe I believe you can get them without any extra apparatus, so just body weight stuff, or you can get them with apparatus, I think. I'm not 100% sure. Sometimes I just start talking, and I don't really know what I'm saying. You know what? If I didn't say it wrong, Coach would think there was something wrong with me. Right. So it's okay. I mean, he has a sweat patch that you can put on that will monitor how much you sweat. It's like a Bluetooth sweat patch, right? So you put it on, and it'll monitor how much you sweat and what's coming out in your sweat, and then that allows them to mix your energy fuel custom blend for you or whatever, right?
That's insane. The technology. It is.
And I didn't know the actual technical name of it, so I literally had Coach on the show, and I was like, yeah, so that sweat patch thingy that you got. So it's fine. It's no big deal. So, all right, so halftime report here. You know what I was going to look up here? Where did MXGP race? Netherlands this weekend? Is that what it was? Because Ducati made its thing there. Yep. Tony... Let's see here. Is that where we were? Was the Netherlands, or where the fuck were we? Oh, yeah. So Cairoli goes 15:36. Ooh, they must have bike problems that second one, or he crashed, one of the two. That's not quite as good as I thought it was going to be.
No.
That bike is sick, though. Did you notice?
It looks sick.
Did you notice the logos on it?
No.
Lenovo, Shell.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And not like in a random spot,
right.
Like very front and center, and very front and center on the chest on the jersey, which I thought was very interesting because this is the kind of stuff that I see getting pulled into the sport through Ducati coming in.
Right.
So, that's a bit of a letdown there compared to what I thought that might be.
I haven't heard too much rave about the Ducati yet.
They've been cracking off wins in the Italian series and doing fairly well at that. And I thought maybe he would come out. I know he's been off for a couple of years, and Jeff isn't going to watch this, but Jeff would be like, you idiot, he hasn't raced in however many years, whatever. But man, I really did think he was going to be a little bit better on that, but oh well. I mean, I'm interested to see what that bike's like. That's another one that like really want to get my hands on when it comes out and like ride it and see what it's like. So especially with that valve system they have. That whatever is it Desmo valve or whatever?
Yeah,
where
they took it from the sport bike.
Yeah. I'm super interested to see what that's like. So I don't know. I have to watch. I haven't seen I haven't watched the replays or anything. I'll watch those later.
GP yet? So.
No. I usually only do the highlights. Yeah. That's my thing. That's the sum total of what I can give to that series because I give all of it to the American series. So, okay, so Kenny's going 250 this weekend here. I've been kind of asking what everybody thinks. Where do you think we're going to see Kenny here on this 250? It's 25 years old.
Top 5.
Okay.
You say podium, I say top 5.
When you say top 5, does he go like 3-5 for like 4th overall?
I don't know. It's hard. I don't know.
Okay.
We'll see. Because what he finished in the 450?
So he went, shoot, what was it? Crap, let me go look. Hold on. Unadilla here. Okay. So he went 7-6.
Right. So I say...
Now hold on. Let's go to 250s here. I heard this week on a pulp thing. 7-6. Pierce Brown went 7-7. If we put Pierce Brown in the 450 class, does he go 7.6?
No.
Okay.
Different animal.
Eh,
A lot of the guys that come up from 250s go to 450s aren't that, and a lot of guys that aren't good on 250s come up to the 450s and do better.
okay.
So I'm gonna stick at 5.5, somewhere in there.
I mean, so if you look at the top,
I like Kenny, but I also think that the 250s and I mean, dude, the field is stacked.
okay, so let me just run you down the top 5 here from this week. Kitchen, Vial, Deegan, Hymas, Swole.
Right.
Which one of those guys do you want to say is better than Ketty?
Is better
Yeah,
as far as overall or just on the 250?
overall. Which one of those guys am I going to drop into MXGP, MX2
So,
class, and is going to win a world title?
I think Deegan beats him.
Okay, I'll give you that one.
I think Hymas could beat him
Uh,
on the 250.
50-50 shot.
If he stays up.
I'll go 50-50 shot on that.
Vial, I don't know, I can give or take.
No, I don't think Vial beats him.
I don't think so either because he's, like I said, sometimes he's on podium, sometimes he's 10th. So I think Kenny could probably beat Vial. I don't think he could beat Kitchen if Kitchen isn't sick. If he gets over this little whatever he's on.
It's definitely not Kobe.
Right.
Which means he's got a cold.
Right. So
Did I say that out loud?
Yeah.
On the podcast. Fuck. Totally kidding. Don't give a shit. He's got a cold. Anyway, moving on.
So I say Deegan, Hymas, and Kitchen can beat him.
All right.
Who was the other ones?
Swole.
I don't see Swole beating him.
MBL.
Vial, I don't know if Vial's on, maybe, but I don't see it. I think
All right.
Kenny beats him.
I'm real interested to see what it's like.
Me too.
I'm real interested to see what the eye test is. Hopefully rides press. I'm sure he will on Friday.
I know Kenny's a real big two-stroke guy, too. He loves riding a two-stroke.
Mm-hmm.
And you had to ride those like a two-stroke. So, I mean, hopefully he proves me wrong. I'm not going to lie.
God, I would love to see him and Deegan just battle it out. Just battle to the death.
You think Deegan gives him respect, or you think Deegan gives him an elbow?
I think Deegan gives him an elbow, but I think he gives him respect on the podium. I mean, he went and trained with him.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's got like ill will or anything like that.
I guess with that being said, Deegan's never really been a dirty rider, so to say. You know what
No.
I mean? He's kind of like a Tomac. Like, if you don't get out of my way, I'll just go around you on the outside.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's something to give us something to talk about this week.
100%.
Which
Just like, when was it then? 2016, maybe? When did Kenny win his? And he wrapped it up early. 15, 16, somewhere in there.
Yeah, 16 or 17, 16.
Anyway, he wanted to line up on a two-stroke,
Oh yeah.
and they wouldn't let him because the manufacturer's last year was 07, so they said it had to be within 2 years.
Stupid rule. Stupid rule.
100%. I think it would have been so sweet to see him go out
Super
there and do
cool.
that.
Super cool. So, all right. You got a rant? Anything you're pissed about? Anything at all?
Ooh, I got to think about that for a minute. Let me think about it.
I'm trying to come up with one too, because there's nothing that I want to put out publicly right this second that I want to rant about. There are some things I'd like to rant about, especially like if you know that insurance question I asked you, which I'll tell you after the show. Remind me. But that was one that I would love to rant about, but I'm just not going to. I'm gonna play it cool. I'm gonna just keep it locked up here. Let's see here. Rant about Loretta's. How much it fucking costs. It's unreal.
Yeah.
It's unreal. I guess I never realized all the extra costs that they tack on you that week.
Right. Oh, it's $5,000 a week. Easy.
It's unreal.
Yeah.
It's unreal. Like, dude, if I qualified, I wouldn't even be able to go.
Right.
Because I'd be like, yeah, I can't afford that. Are you high? Like,
Right. It's always been a bucket list of mine to actually just qualify and be able to get that ticket.
yeah.
But would I actually go?
I mean, when they're talking about, oh, you got to pay, like, because it's not like you go to a normal race, okay? You pay, whatever, $10 a person, $30 a class or whatever. No. You got to pay for this. You got to pay for that. Yeah. And like you said, by the time you're done, it's $5,000.
Right.
And that's not counting
Travel.
and the bikes. And then all your normal camping fees you got to pay for, which, your food and all that bullshit to be there. Like, it's unreal. It's unfucking real.
So I have heard, and there's talk that Loretta's might be getting moved to Ironman. Because
Okay, hold on. Let's back that train up here. Let me just. Why?
Because the ranch is done. They don't want to.
They don't want to host a motocross race anymore?
Yeah, they're getting kind of over it. Do I know that's 100%? No. Coombs owns Ironman.
Yep.
So Coombs owns that whole series.
Mm-hmm.
So why not do it at their own? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It
Do
would
they
be-
have to pay to rent the ranch?
I believe so.
Interesting.
So I think it would be cooler for us, meaning me and you, just because it's
'Cause it's
local.
close, like,
it's
we'll
way
drop down, yeah.
Right. Then I also heard in speculation that Des Nations is going to be at Ironman next.
So, fun fact, let's jump into that there. And I've talked about this on the show, but obviously you didn't hear that, which is fine. I don't think it's Des Nations that's coming there. I think there's going to be a combined race there of MXGP and the US schedule. A combined points paying race where the top 20 from each class are invited to race it.
And what, just be like whatever? Like, what are they going to
It's
call
a
it?
full-blown points paying race. It is American.
Another race added to the schedule? They're gonna
No,
love that.
no, not another race added to the schedule. It's going to be our final round. I don't know if it's going to be the GP's final round or if it's just going to be one that's in their season there, but a combined MXGP US National. Now, let me tell you where I get this. So we all know, we've all heard that Indy Supercross, that whatever his name was, Luongo, was there, right? And he flew in a couple days earlier, and the rumor I'd heard was that it was to go look at Ironman, right? And what we'd been talking about at that point was they were going to look at Ironman because they wanted to host the Des Nations there, okay? Then I go listen to the Gypsy Tales podcast that had, oh crap, who's the guy that's heavily involved with Paris Supercross there? Crap, I'm blanking on this. Eric Pennard.
Yep.
Okay, he's on there. And Eric brings up multiple times, not once, multiple times, about a combined U.S. MXGP race, points paying, top 20, etc. And he specifically says, and this is multiple times, in Indiana at the end of August. And I went, motherfucker.
That would be Ironman.
That would be Ironman. And I went, dude, he went there and we could all think is Des Nations because we've all heard for years, right? Oh, they're going to do a combined race, points paying, top 20, blah, 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 whatever. It'll never happen. But when Eric is saying this multiple times in this podcast.
So you know somebody might know that question, the answer to that question?
Oh, God, please tell me who.
Mr. Stanton.
Call him back.
He's got
Jeff, we have a question.
He's got his fingers in all kinds of stuff. I'll hit him up. I'll see if I can.
That's one of those things that I'm just, like I said. So I pieced this together. I literally was listening to the Gypsy Tales podcast with Eric, and when he said that, like about the third time of the end of August in Indiana, and I went, this son of a bitch knows,
right.
And this is what's happening, and like, whew. Because here's the thing, I've heard too that is like Spring Creek. It's not big enough to do a Des Nations. Like there's not enough room for the people is the problem. It's not so much the track itself.
It is, as far as spectator, it is kind of small.
Yeah, and there's not enough room for parking or anything.
Right. Well, parking, they got a ton of fields around there, so I think
I'm sure that
they could pull the parking and camping and that shit off. But I don't know about, like you said, spectator wise. It's just like that infield and all around like where the finish line is.
Yeah,
that whole backside on the other side of Godzilla and stuff. You can't even get over
nope,
there.
Not at all.
They would have to do something.
Yeah, so I don't know. I like me personally, and this is where Jeff's going to be like, fuck that guy. Like, the Des Nations thing just doesn't do anything for me anymore. It's
because exactly what he said, though. It's because we don't stand behind our guys like we should.
We don't stand behind our guys. The guys don't want to go. To me, the thing with it is that they do it too much. Right. It needs to be every 2 years. If they did every 2 years and it was something legitimately...
Or like the Olympics every 4.
Yeah, or something like that, then it would be more special to me. But it just happens every year. And it literally doesn't mean anything. And now being on the backside and knowing all the shit of like how much it costs to go and all this stuff, and it's like, okay, this, like, I understand this.
With that being said, I think if they did do something like that, maybe the manufacturers would be more up for it too.
Yeah, to
Because
go
they're
every
not
4
doing it
years.
every single year. You know what I mean?
Yep. But I also agree with you and Jeff. Like, there should be fundraisers we can do more than just, hey, we're going to do this one-off golf tournament thing.
Right.
Like, that's stupid. Like, it's great, fine, that's cool. You know, I understand a lot of people like golf.
How many districts are in the nation? You know what I mean?
I'll go with at least 14.
Oh, more than that.
Obviously, that's all I know, man.
Well,
I don't know.
I think Wisconsin's like 17 or something, and then yeah, but whatever. So there's quite a few districts.
Yeah.
We all, being a track owner, president, whatever you want to call it, we all have to pay in points to each division.
Okay.
So why not have each, and some, you know, when I go to those meetings every year, we're always tied with California. I think that's going to change. It's probably going to be more the Carolinas and Florida because everybody's.
What do you mean tied with California?
As far as the district numbers and AMA entries and.
Wow, we have that many people, huh?
Oh yeah, we're like, and AMA uses us, the district 14, as a model for other districts. Like
wow,
as sloppy as I feel it is sometimes, and it blows my mind. Like, but whatever. So they use us as a model, and the members that we have for AMA is what they go by. If every district put in a little bit of money, like let's say our district, at the end of the year we have 30 grand extra.
Yeah.
Just as instance, why not donate 10 grand towards them going? If every district did that, tell me that wouldn't help.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So just something stupid like that. You know what I mean? It's not like, again, AMA is supposedly a non-profit organization.
We don't want to go down that road. I'm not going to comment on that right now.
Agreed. But my point is like, why not? You know what I mean? And AMA don't help because it's not an AMA thing. You know what I mean?
But all the AMA guys are there.
Right. But
it's weird how many AMA jackets I've seen at Des Nations when I'm there.
100%. And I think that AMA itself should step up. You know what I mean?
How many riders are in the district? Do you know? Do you have any idea?
Our district?
Yeah.
Fuck. I couldn't even tell you. Let me see if I can find out. Just as a...
Is it 10,000?
Oh, probably.
So you need $1 out of every single...
So we pay... They want to... Yeah, I don't know. There's some other stuff I can tell you off air, but I'm not going to call anybody out right now.
So, okay, so let's just make this simple, easy numbers. Let's say there's 10,000 riders in D14 here. So
and
we need...
So the district consists of not just MX, though. MX, off-road,
yeah,
Euro, enduro, the ice rate, everything. So let's just do just MX.
I'm just saying, when you get down to the dollars and cents of it, and it's like, okay, cool, so if each district gave $10,000, which would be more than enough to get the fucking team there and back, and all the bikes and everything we needed, then, I mean, we need $1 out of every person. Like, we can't pull that out of our membership fee? I don't understand. I'm confused. I'm so confused right now.
Right.
You're starting to bring this up. We're on drink number 2.
Right.
Things are going to start popping off here, Doug. If we keep talking like this, it's not going to go well.
Oh, no, it's fine. We're going to get our rants going.
We're going to Holster Co. Reload Rant.
Right.
Make sure to check them out. Bang, bang, pow, pow.
Ah, fuck. Goddamn people with stupid androids.
Ah.
Right. So,
Nothing I hate than a poor person with an Android.
So I'm going to text somebody that has an iPhone, I know.
We're
going to call up Mr. Craig Bigelow. He is our MX chairman. He should know.
Are you calling him?
I could call him. He'd probably come on the show.
That's okay. Let's.
Well, I'm just going to ask him what the member list is. See what he says.
I'm just saying, like, dude, it would make sense that there's 10,000 people in D14 is only Michigan, or
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, people can come out of the state and sign up for D14, but D14 is Michigan.
But it's just like, out of those memberships, we can't get $10,000. Like,
That's what I'm saying.
To donate to Team
Dude,
USA.
there's so much I can go into. Like, even with, like, our awards banquet. You know what I mean? Like, why the fuck can't we give away a bike? Why are
you know
the
what,
guy-
man? There's nothing I like better than spending about $15,000 to win a fucking jacket that costs $35 to get printed.
So, when I won my championship, when I actually chased points, way back in 15,
Yep.
I have a couple plaques
Mm-hmm.
and a gear bag.
Yep.
Everybody always asks, "Oh, that's a sweet gear bag. Where'd you get that?" I said, "That's like my $3,500 gear bag. You paid what?" And just goes for a story. You know who has that gear bag now? My daughter. I gave it to her. So
You know, it's...
he says, tough to say, maybe 25 to 3,000 just in MX.
Okay. So 3,000.
Right.
Okay. Let's pull $1 from each one of those. That's $3,000. Now we probably got at least 20 districts. I'll tell you what, can we Google AMA districts? This is fascinating. Fascinating radio here. Hold on. AMA districts map. There we go. Sweet. What do we got? Crap, this sucks. Oh, there we go. Bruh, that's 45. There's 45 districts? Get the fuck out of here.
Actually, I think I think California is like 45. District 45.
That's crazy. So there's 45 districts. So even if you pulled...
10 grand, you're talking $450,000.
You don't even need that much.
That's what I'm saying, though. But if everybody did 5 grand.
The numbers and sense of... I mean, okay, I guess too, if you did it for that, then you got to do what? ISDE, then you got to do, what are the other
That's what
things?
that's what I was asking, like, when we were talking with Jeff. I don't know if the moto side is more than the district or that's the other thing. There's that many districts, but like Craig just told me, he said for an organized district, not sure how many are active.
Oh, okay.
So even though there's 45 listed, 20 through 30 might not even be active.
Interesting.
But I don't know the number count between the moto side versus off-road side, because I do know that there's the difference between ISDEs, there's different levels that represent US that go over there. And there's like 6 days and everything else.
Yeah.
Versus the moto side is just those 3 guys, just those that go. And I mean, let's face it, the moto side, they always put way more money into their bikes and stuff than the off-road guys. They get paid way more, you know what I mean? Those guys aren't going to go over there for free. That's the other thing. Like,
Oh, they do.
well, because they're paying it out of their pocket. But if we could talk to the riders, then the riders would go over there just simply, like Jeff said, to represent your nation as, you know what I mean, just pride, so to say. It could save money there, too.
You know, the other thing that in all this that we haven't been talking about is that there's one person making a whole shitload of money on this race. You know who that is?
Who?
Fucking Luongo. Because let's face it, you know how much it is for a VIP ticket for that race?
Oh.
The cheap one that I looked at was $700.
Yeah, that's insane.
The cheap one. And it went all the way up to, I believe, $1,800 for a gold pass.
Yeah, fuck that.
So, you want to tell me you're not making money?
Right.
Like...
Yeah.
Can we spread that out a little bit here?
I can get into some other stuff, but again,
we'll not do that on the air.
Correct.
But we just keep it high level here. But
Right.
yeah, no, it's one of those things. It's just like, dude, like, what are we doing? Like, and again, too, if the U.S. doesn't go to that race doesn't fucking matter.
right.
Like you want to say that race doesn't matter now when the U.S. struggles to put a team there? Wait till the U.S. doesn't go.
Well, there's been times where we haven't gone.
Yes, but you give us 5 years in a row where we don't go. That race won't exist anymore.
Right.
People won't give a fuck.
Right.
It doesn't matter. They go to see the U.S. guys.
Right. And that's
Great. Can we get our costs covered?
right.
Can we get a $20,000 stipend?
Or at least help out.
Something.
You know what I mean?
Something. Because those people aren't going to watch. I don't even. Israel fucking ride? I don't know. Who the fuck rides from Israel? I'm not even sure.
Puerto Rico.
Uganda, yeah, Puerto Rico. Well, it depends. If we got Kevin Windham and Travis Pastrana racing Puerto Rico, then maybe, you know.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know, man. Just blows my fucking mind every time.
100%.
Holster Co. Reload rant.
Yeah.
So, all right. Anything else you want to talk about here in the industry that's not 250 related? Anything that comes to mind?
No. Not off the top of my head.
You got any silly season stuff you want to talk about?
I haven't heard too much other
neither.
than what I've said to you already. You know what I mean?
Which has all been covered by me.
I'm gonna watch Janek.
Oh, okay. Here's a fun one. What do you think Drew Adams does this weekend? I know it's kind of 250 related, but it's.
You think he's gonna bump to pro and
he's right? No, he's riding Ironman.
I haven't heard that.
Yes,
so I didn't know.
No, he's riding Ironman.
For PC.
I assume so. I'm gonna guess that's it.
Right. I bet you. Dude, he's been dominating, but I don't know. Top 10 for sure.
Hold on, let's look at the results here. Top 10. Master Pool is 10th.
I think
Easy.
Yeah, I think Master Pool's problem is
Can't get started right now.
Well, and he needs to stay up.
Yeah. Ooh, sorry. He's been having issues with that for sure. It's not been going that swimmingly, and this weekend was just as bad here with him not staying on two wheels. So
yeah, I mean he kind of got fucked at the start, but
yeah. So
I'm super pumped that he got a ride though.
Do you think he sniffs the box?
Maybe if he gets a start.
I think he can beat VL. But then again, too, now we're throwing Roxon in there, who I also think can beat VL. So this is.
I don't know though, but I think the pressure could get to him a little bit. Just the only reason I say that is because like look at Deegan. When Deegan came out, he was like untouchable. Everything else, he came out in futures, got fucking smashed. And then,
futures though,
right? But then when he came pro, he still didn't come out and like.
I don't know. That Houston race was pretty good. He was like fourth, I think, if I remember correctly. I can go back and look here, but I'm pretty sure he was like fourth because we talked. Me and Justin talked a bunch of shit, like which we still can't live down to this day, even though we've said he's fantastic now.
Yep.
But yeah, no, we took a bunch of shit for that because we literally were like, well, this is fucking. Yeah, he got fourth. Yeah. He got fifth in futures the week before, and then he came out and got fourth in Houston at a pro race. My thing with Adams is, I don't know that the moment's too big for him in a sense for the riding side because he's been doing the races in Canada. Then he comes to Loretta's and like, dude, Loretta's, he was head and shoulders better than every single other one of those guys.
For sure.
He was the only guy to come through the pack. Right. Everybody else, they got a bad start. They come through, they get like in the top 10, but that was it. But he came back to fourth, and to be honest, there was 2 more laps. That first moto, I think it was 250 Pro Sport. He'd have won that race.
For sure.
He'd have won that race.
He's an animal. I'll give him that. But I don't know. We'll see. It's hard to say.
I'm going to go with top 5. Yeah. But I'm interested to see it.
Tim and Kenny are going to battle.
Battling, yes. Holy shit. Drew Adams, the rookie of the rookie, and a guy about to retire.
Right.
Oh, my God. That's awesome. So, all right. That's been your Complete Racing Solutions halftime report. We will now jump into our 250 race recap brought to you by our friends at Pro Flo Racing. Do you know Scott?
I don't know him personally, no.
Okay. Yeah. So
I know he builds some badass little PW 50s, though.
I got a sick one right in my trailer at my house, man. Okay. Yep, because he built it for my kid. So not a full-blown Loretta's build, because I was like, she doesn't need all that. Like we don't need however many horsepower PW. Like we just need it to run, which it did. One minor carb clean.
You know what I think is funny is off subject a little bit, but those P-dubs is I was talking to Tim from Hoosier.
No, I don't think so.
So he's Michigan MX Tire.
Okay.
He was exclusively Hoosier. Now he's venturing off and doing more. But long story short, he said he has unlimited people asking for a paddle, a scoop tire
for a P-dub?
For a P-dub. What?
Dude,
what are these parents thinking?
Hold on, let me get into another Holster Co. reload rant here. Your fucking kid's not going pro in the P-Dub class, so get the fuck over it.
Dude,
Holy
a scoop
shit.
is going to do nothing but slow that bike down.
I cannot handle these 50cc parents.
Oh,
it's
dude.
unfucking real.
You have no idea. Come and be in my position for a weekend at a
Dude, you don't
race.
want me to because they're going to get in my face and start bitching about it. I'm going to be like, fuck off. You're at a local race, you idiot. Like, what is wrong?
Yeah,
Told you it's going to get bad.
Dude.
It is like, dude, I would tell them that they are such fucking idiots. I'll be like, you know what? If your fucking kid makes it to be a pro and podium a pro race, I'll give you $1 million fucking dollars.
Right.
Let's see how this fucking works. I'll bet you owe me. Like,
Half of them stop riding when they get to 65s.
yeah. Duh. I mean, it's the stupidest
But
fucking thing
it blew
ever.
my mind when I seen it because we were in there. Dude hooks me up with tires.
Yeah.
You know, shout out to Michigan MX Tire. Tim's awesome.
they kind of have to with those Hoosiers. Or do they hold up better now?
Yeah, somehow I got a project tire.
Okay.
And it was a test tire, and I sent him, and it was cracked all over the sides and everything. And he was like, "What's the numbers on it?" And I was looking on it, trying to find the numbers, couldn't find it. FaceTimed him, showed him. He's like, "Dude, you got a project tire. How the fuck did you get that project tire?" I said, "Oh, from you? I don't know."
You gave it to me?
Anyway, so he hooked me up with some other tires. Him and Mary definitely take care of me and my family. And I do like the Hoosier tires. They just don't last. You know what I mean? Not like the
No.
big name brands, but
That's what I've run into with them too. I've seen a couple people who've had them. I've never personally run one. I've heard they're awesome, like traction wise, they're awesome, but they just don't last.
their front tire is amazing. I love the front tire.
Interesting.
Long story short, getting some tires. I actually put on the pit bike
Yeah.
while I was over there. I seen a little 10-inch freaking paddle, and I was like, "What is that for?" And he's like, "These dads on the P-Dubs, they want them." I said, "For what?" I
It's
said,
not gonna dig, bro.
Well, not only that, 90%, if not 99.9% of the mini tracks are hard dirt.
yeah.
They don't need a scoop. What the fuck? Do you think you're going to get a better hole shot? I mean, I just don't understand.
Loretta's, bro. It's all about Loretta's. Because if you win that PW50 title, you are guaranteed a Star Racing Yamaha ride. It's the fucking stupidest thing, dude. I can't even remotely. Look, dude, your kids' results don't matter till they hit 85s, all right? When you start hitting 85s in Schoolboy 1, sweet. Then it's fucking on. If your kid's winning Loretta's at that point, then we can start fucking talking. Until that point, it doesn't fucking matter.
Right.
And even at that, it doesn't fucking matter.
Right. So is KTM going to start putting the paddles on the KTM electric bikes?
That's
For
a
the
whole
Supercross?
nother fucking bag of worms. Those things are fucking... that blows my mind, too, because those bitches are $6,000 brand new. Because I looked at one for my kid, because, like, the less bike work I have to do, the better. And I'm like, dude, she doesn't ride that much, so this electric's fucking perfect. And then I found out it was $6,000. I was like, ooh, yeah, no thank you.
Right. So KTM came out. So, again, on the track owner side of it,
Yeah.
AMA, they're making classes because right now, like a start,
Yeah.
is not legal to race in our class because we have no place to put them. They can't be in the 250s, can't be in the.
What do you guys do if
450s.
somebody shows up on one?
They can't race. They can't line up. We have to do a class or a track class. That's the only way you can do it. AMA is struggling with them right now.
Talk about getting your own trophy.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So, but how pissed off is that guy that's going out there and spending 10, 12 grand on this bike, but he can't race it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But AMA is struggling, and it's a safety issue because they're saying that you can't hear the guy coming up.
Oh, my God. Get fucked.
So that's the big hiccup right now. So they're trying to come up with a electric only class, or trying to figure that out. I don't know. I think it'll be here in time.
Yeah.
It's not here yet. Just like with the 50s, you know what I mean? They were the e-bike thing or whatever, like with Loretta's and
Do you guys
stuff,
have to
they kinda-
separate them at local race?
No.
Okay. I didn't think so.
No, but it is weird. I'll tell you. You know, you get all these little bumblebees hauling ass little 50 seniors and stuff, and all of a sudden all you hear is a little chain slap
Yep.
coming around. It's fucking weird. I hate that the sport's going that way. Hopefully it doesn't stick.
It'll have its own thing. That's the way it's going to be forever. It'll have its own thing. I point to this all the time. God, we're way off the 250 race recap here. I point to this all the time. Look at Formula One. Formula One is the thing, right? Mm-hmm. Do they race electric there?
No.
Exactly. You want to know what they did? They spawned their own series off of it, which Formula One, I don't know this for sure, but I would assume Formula One probably subsidizes, much like the NBA subsidizes the WNBA, so that they can keep having a league, just to say, okay, we have an electric racing league, but it'll never be a thing.
No.
Because if it was going to be a thing, Formula One would do it.
Right.
And Formula One's not doing it. Why? Because we want to hear the noises.
Right. Well, and that's what everybody gets their jollies off of. You know what I mean? There's
Yeah.
nothing, especially like again, you want to go back to two strokes. I mean, there's nothing that sounds better than a crispy ass 252 stroke.
No, it's awesome.
Right.
It's well, I mean, I guess I'm a little later in life here, so like I don't mind 4-stroke noises. Like I'm okay with that.
And they sound good.
And to be honest, I am also anxiously awaiting that Honda electric. Because in my mind, I'm like, bruh, there is nothing I like better than not having to do anything but check my tire pressure and lube my chain, and off I go.
Have you ever rode an electric bike?
No.
Change your mind.
You don't like it?
No.
Have you rode one?
Yeah. Well, I rode an Alta. Back when Altas were around.
And you didn't like it at all?
No. I heard that it was just super weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Again, I've rode for a long time. I started riding when I was probably 11, 12.
Yeah.
On an 80. Never raced. My first race, I was 30 years old before I first lined up. I didn't race till I moved here, actually. I used to race BMX.
Yeah.
Turned pro BMX, and that was fun, but not moto. So that's why I'm partial to like the two-stroke sound, because that's what I grew up on.
Yeah.
450s are cool. They're way easier to ride. I think that these new kids and stuff on these 250s and stuff, and I think that's
terrible.
why they're as fast and as good as they are, because they're so much easier to ride than a two-stroke.
Yes.
But with that being said, a lot of these kids that are fast and stuff, they grew up on two-strokes too, because you have to get to where you're at. The Stark, have you been to Ziegler lately?
I've seen it in there, yeah.
Okay. Have you tried lifting it up? Or
Nope.
moving it? Dude, they are ridiculous heavy. But I have not rode a Start. Talked to a couple of the sales guys there and stuff that have rode them and stuff. Grant you, those aren't guys that ride probably like me or some of the faster BA guys or whatever, but they love it. They said it's cool, it's instant power, it's whatever, but they can't get it figured out. So at a pro level, as far as the battery is concerned, it won't make it.
That's why I said it'll be its own thing.
Yeah.
Long story long here. It'll be its own thing. There will be a full-blown either electric series or electric class or something. It'll be its own thing because it won't ever replace it. No. Unless governments come out and just completely outlaw gas, which could happen. Who knows? People are fucking crazy.
California's
It's 2024. Unless that happens, it won't happen. And I don't think it'll happen anyway. Because California will do that, and then they'll crash a certain part of the economy with it, and then all of a sudden be like, oh, whoops.
Right.
And then, like, you'll still, I don't know. It's moving on.
Yep. We can get on a whole other rant. With
Rant there. 250 race recap. Sorry, I got some allergy shit going on right now. I'm fucking dying. 250 race recap. Again, brought to you by our friends at Flo Racing here. So Kitchen goes 3-1 for first with a cold, which is crazy. He was dying that first moto, dude.
For sure.
When they pointed that out, you really watched him and you were like, oh man, he is not doing well.
Well, and I mean, you've met Kitchen, you've talked to him and stuff, whatever. When he is definitely a super happy-go-lucky guy and kind of like spunky a little bit. And when he's walking up to the podium and he's got his head down and kind of, one of those things, I was like, yeah, he's not feeling great.
No, not at all.
With that being said, if Hymas didn't go head over head, he would have caught him and beat him on the first moto.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. But man, Kitchen's having a little run here, man.
Yep.
It'll be interesting to see. He wants to, I listened to an interview, he wants to put it together Ironman too and finish out the year strong here. Which will be...
You think he looks better on the Cowway versus Yamaha?
Yes, but I think that's a happiness thing.
Right.
That
now,
football team mentality over there at Star is not for everybody, and he is one of them it was not for.
100%. So last year when we were at, can't remember if it was Redbud or Ironman, my daughter, fan, wanted his jersey, number plate, something.
Yep.
And he's like, "Oh man, sorry, I gave it all. I think it was Redbud." He said, "I gave it all away. Sorry, whatever." And I had heard that I think it was Redbud for sure, because I said I had heard that he was going to go to Cali.
Yeah.
And so I kind of threw it in there and stuck him in his side. I said, "So we'll wait till next year and get something from Cali." And he kind of like looked around like that. He's like, "Yeah, you'll want something from Cali." And he said it just like that, and I was like, "Nice!" Exclamation point.
We'll just go ahead and stamp that he's moving. Thank you.
So that was kind of cool. And sure as shit, he remembered me.
That's awesome.
And we went up to him, and my daughter got his jersey signed, everything.
Hell
Brand new jersey out of the thing, because he said that Fox came and took all of his shit And he looked at his girlfriend, wife, whatever, and said, "Hey, just go get one of those ones out of there." And came back out, signed it for her, took a picture.
Sick.
So she's got it hanging up in her room. It's pretty cool.
Sick. Did you try it on?
No.
Because Kev sent
no.
me a jersey and I put it on and I sent him a picture. I said, man, we wear the same size. This is crazy.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is I stuffed my fat ass in a medium-sized
Yeah.
jersey.
If I would have put that jersey on, it would have looked like I was put on my little sister's shirt.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
sure.
that's exactly the way I looked. But it's cool because I can say I wear the same size as pro racers, so it's fine. Vial goes 2-3 for second. This was like a sneaky good ride for him, I guess you'd call it. But he's been very underwhelming this year outdoors.
Vial doesn't impress me outdoors.
Supercross is just destroyed his outdoors.
Right, for sure.
He's just not there.
And I think that was everybody's expectation for him coming in, but just wasn't there.
No. And I'll be interested to see next year if he doesn't have a Supercross hangover, if it's any better, but I don't know that it is. I think
he's going to have a target on his back, and I think Deegan takes it.
The Supercross title?
Mm-hmm.
Which coast do you think Deegan rides? He's got to ride West Coast, right?
Yeah, because
unless he gets hurt again. He's riding West.
He did East this year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
He'll ride West for sure.
Yeah, because he's going to want to take both titles and then move up.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And now we've got your Isaac Nelson design Deegan Danger Zone here. So Deeks goes 110 for third, wins the title. It was a very nonchalant title win.
For sure.
Very nonchalant. Which he said, he's like, well, I had a huge points lead, so, it's kind of just like whatever. I knew I was going to win it. Okay, I understand that. But that's, too, where I point to.
Not the typical Deegan.
Yeah. Well, did you see my reaction video? I titled it, Deegan was speechless. With a laughing emoji. Right. Because, dude, they were like, here's your plate, thanks. And he was just like, yeah, man, this is awesome. Okay, cool. Had nothing to say, which was weird because I really thought we were going to get it. This is for the haters and F all you said stuff or whatever. And I was going to be like, man, he's speaking right to my heart. Thank you.
It hasn't sunk in yet.
I'll be honest, I don't think he cares.
Yeah.
His, he won that SMX one last year. Okay, that was cool. Got him his first title, whatever, air quote title, however you feel about that. I don't
think you can get a title off of 3 races.
I think the only thing that matters to him is 450 titles from this point here.
Yeah.
That 250 Supercross, he'll probably be a little more stoked just to check that list. Another rung on the ladder, as Weege said. But I don't think until he wins a 450 Supercross title, we see him
not going to really
ecstatic again.
That's one thing that frustrates me a little bit with the sport is because they don't really recognize the 250 titles. You know what I mean?
Well, I'd be much more okay with the 250 titles if we just said, fuck it. It's not like, especially in Supercross, it's not a coast class. It's just a national class. And then we, had an entry-level class again.
I 100% think that it should be just like 450s.
100%.
Shouldn't be half and half bullshit. It should just be a full thing.
And then we should have an entry-level class that you can ride till you're 21 or whatever the fuck, however the fuck you want to split it up.
But they do that in outdoors, but they still don't really recognize even the outdoor titles in 250s. I mean, they might recognize it or whatever, but you talk to some of the guys and some of the guys that have won titles and stuff, they only really recognize their 450 titles.
Well, let me let you know another little secret. Nobody gives a fuck about outdoors anymore.
Right.
And me and Justin have argued about this.
And it sucks because that's the core of the sport.
It's the core, and it's what sells bikes and gear and all that stuff. Those are the people that buy it. But when it comes to 2024, nobody gives a fuck about outdoors. I mean, I've seen team budgets. They don't sell outdoors. They do outdoors just because they sell their entire budget on Supercross season. Their entire budget is sold to sponsors on Supercross.
Why do you think that is?
TV time, you can see the whole track, climate controlled. I can sell a shit ton of beer and food in that stadium, which is all controlled because it's a pain in the ass to go out of the stadium and come back. I mean, I can go on and on. There's Wi-Fi, there's running water, there's toilets. I mean, this is the thing. You can talk about this as a track owner. Why can we not have fucking infrastructure at these national racetracks? We go to the same fucking ones every year. We've been going to the same ones for 50 fucking years.
Right.
Why can I not have paved walkways, fucking indoor plumbing, fucking, I don't know, good Wi-Fi?
I'll tell you. It's because all the Supercross stadiums,
yeah,
they get all their money from the football teams, the baseball teams, everything else.
Yeah.
They're year-round. The outdoor tracks, they're not year-round. They're people like me and you that own the tracks.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously way different level. Tim and Amy have way more fucking money than we could ever think of. But
that's what I'm talking about. So I'm not even talking about. Let's not even go on a club level like you. Okay, why at Redbud am I pissing in a fucking porta john still in 2024? Why do we not have set of bathrooms here, set of bathrooms there? With fucking, we can go old school. Put the fucking trough in, dude. I'll stand next to a dude and hold my unit and fucking pee. No problem. Done it at stadiums for my entire life.
Right.
But can we get some fucking indoor bathrooms instead of me fucking walking into a damn porta potty with fucking shit stacked 8 feet tall? Like, come on.
it's this. They don't want to put the money out.
That's
They don't
fucking
have
dumb.
They don't have a football team. They don't have a baseball team.
I don't care. They're
You know what I
making
mean?
they're making so much money. It's ridiculous.
I agree with you. But again, off camera, I can tell you stories. So I'm not going to throw myself out there. I get along with Amy and Tim really well.
I don't want you to put yourself out there publicly either and fuck something up. I'm just saying
they're
this
the
this
only
is
ones
something
that I
drives me.
know that are at that level. You know what I mean? Like,
How does Dutch have indoor plumbing?
because the guy that built Dutch won the lottery.
It can't be. It still can't be that bad.
So does Big Air. Big Air has indoor plumbing. They have showers, everything.
Is it?
I have indoor plumbing, motherfucker.
Yeah, in the fucking whatever, the fucking clubhouse that I can't go in.
Yeah, you can. We
Well-
got public restrooms. It's trough.
Well, I mean that's okay.
And I'm working on public showers.
Well, I don't. Okay, I don't know. I don't hang out there enough. Okay, look, look. I didn't know you.
Right.
I didn't know half the people I knew when I was going there to race in the last couple of years. So,
But I agree.
now I'd walk around like I own the place. And if somebody said something to me, I'd be like, "Go talk to Doug. He'll tell you who I am.
Yeah.
You need to know me."
Oh, there's a lot of people that like to throw my name out. It's funny. I talked to my gate
Don't
guy.
worry, I'll be another one. It's fine. I'm okay with it.
I talked to the gate guy, and the gate guys, you'd be amazed on how many family and best friends you have come race weekend. I said, yeah, it's funny because
Oh, I'm not going to even say that. I'm a local celebrity, all right? And he knows me. You should know me. Figure it the fuck out. Thank you. I'll continue on with my time.
right. You see this? Look at this hat.
Do you see this hat?
Yeah.
Guess where I got this? From Doug.
Right.
You want to know what I paid for it? 0. So figure that the fuck out. I'm going to go do my thing.
Right.
I'm an asshole. It's okay. I'll
Right.
get over it eventually.
So-
Anyway, back to Deegan.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he wasn't really like super pumped up to win this title, which I'm sure not. I'm sure the bonus is way better for a Supercross title. Okay, so if he does race 250s here, how much do you think he wins by?
In as far as overall, like done for the season, you mean? Or you mean
No, I'm talking
Ironman.
seconds per moto at Ironman. Think he puts 30 on him? Because Ironman's dirt translates into the way he likes to ride, which is just
for sure? It's a fast track.
yep.
I say 15.
Okay. So you think he basically does the same thing he did this weekend?
Yeah, without falling.
Without falling. I don't know, man. I think pressure's all off. Number 1 plate's in hand. Doesn't fucking matter. Only thing is, don't hit the deck. Do you remember his rookie year when he came out and did that? Or not rookie year, when he came out after Loretta's and raced Ironman? Do you remember that crash he had that first moto?
Yeah, we were there.
Because he tried to go on off in that section that long rhythm section in the back.
Yeah.
And just fucking wadded his shit. So
He was also doing that huge double that was insane that we were standing right next to. Remember that?
the finish line there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was last year.
Yeah.
I'm talking the year before. So it wasn't last year. It was the year before. After Loretta's, he rode the last 2 or 3, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And remember, he came out at Ironman there, and there was something in that back. Somehow they were going like on off, and it was really funny. Actually, this is where it all started.
Right after the bridge.
Yes,
Yeah.
and actually it was really funny because he did that wad his brains out. I had a video of Hymus doing it, and I tagged him in the video and said, "This is how it's done."
Ooh, nice.
I remember doing that because I had that. I was like, "This is the way it's
Did
done."
he respond to it?
I don't remember. I don't
Yeah.
think so. I don't think I've had a run in with him yet.
Yeah.
So, I mean, dude, if I do because they think I'm talking shit or something, I'm just gonna be like, "Hey, man, this is just like you and the Lawrences, bro. It's all WWE. It's all internet shit. You guys are fucking awesome."
Well, and it's just like Mathis. You know what I mean? People hate or love that guy. You know what I mean? Because he...
There's some things I'll tell you off air.
Right.
There's some things I can tell you off air about him that I'm. Yeah. Anyway. But you think he goes 1-1 this weekend?
I don't know. I think it's going to be a battle between him and Kitchen.
I'll be surprised if he doesn't go 1-1. To be honest with you.
Yeah. You think he's just going to hang it out because...
Oh yeah. There are
Because-
zero
because
fucks
it's over?
given.
Yeah, but I still think he wants... I don't know.
Barring hitting the deck, I don't think he gives a shit. I think he'll just lay it out there and do it.
I mean, that's his style anyway. But I think he's still going to be semi-cautious because I think he's going to want that 2-time SMX thing.
Yeah, maybe. He is the it is funny because he's the first one of this new generation that's basically indoctrinated into the SMX title being a thing.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. All right, so Hymas goes 8-2 for fourth. Do we know if he knows where he was? Because after last week, ringing himself silly there, was he conscious? Do we know?
Right.
How was he making it? I don't know. No, he was okay. Man, he was good that second moto, dude.
Yeah.
First moto was just start dependent.
Yep, he was good that first moto too until he went over the bars.
Hell yeah, that's true too.
Because he would have went 2-2 and that would have been a 3-1.
So the funny thing is that keep hearing is like you go back to the amateurs, and when him and Deegan had to race together in amateurs, he put it to Deegan all the fucking time.
So did Ryder D.
So it's
And Ryder D's not even in the top 10.
that's a whole nother thing there. I think the thing is I think if Hymas puts it together here, he's going to be a fairly unstoppable force here. He is fast as fuck.
Yeah, he is, and he's looking smooth.
Yeah. But that Lawrence compound.
It's helping.
So there's a probability that Kev might end up there.
Really?
I'm going to have to go play mechanic.
That would be sweet.
Can you imagine me just walking around just like hard as morning wood all the time, being like, dude, I'm here with Jet. This is awesome.
Right?
This is awesome.
Well, you know his mechanic already.
I do.
Just be like, hey, remember me?
Christian doesn't work with him, and he's not his practice mechanic, though, is he?
I'm not sure. I'm sure he's around. They got such a good relationship. I don't see how they couldn't be. And Christian also was telling me, because when he filled in for Hunter, when Cam was sick, I was talking to him, and he said, yeah, I'm just filling in while Cam's sick or whatever, probably 1 or 2 weeks. And he goes, to be honest with you, I haven't had a break in...
Yeah, he said that at Redbud when we were there.
So many years that it would be... I'm kind of looking forward to a break. So that tells me that he's... I mean, if he's not there every day, he's there.
Yeah. Does he live in California, though? Do you know?
I'm not sure where he is.
Because if he lives in California, then he's not with him during the week most of the time. I don't know. Anyway, Swole goes 6-4 for fifth. Follows up a podium with a top 5. I think that's great. The Triumph bike.
Super awesome.
That we got to test.
Jeff's super impressed with him. He's happy with him.
Yep. So, did you ever see? I did I cut a short of Justin talking about Jalik used to be a little shithead, and Jalik commented on it. Said, "Guess I'm just a little shithead or something." Yeah. I'm just dying laughing. Anytime these guys comment, especially when one of us is saying something shitty, I'm just laughing my ass off because I'm like, okay. Let's all make sure we don't take this too seriously here.
Justin was telling me of somebody else, too, that he used to remember that was a little shit. Maybe it was Jalik. I don't know. We were talking about somebody, and he's like, I remember when he was just a fucking knee-high.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right. Julian Beaumer, 4-7 for 6. Thoughts on his season?
I like Juju.
I think it's going okay.
Yeah, I think he's doing good.
I mean, for what it is, it's not... He's not touted to be like the next guy or anything. He was a guy. He didn't even have a fucking ride last year for Futures, remember? So
and he's had some standout rides.
Yeah, he has, and he was up front on one of the starts there too. That first moto, he was running, top 5 there, third, whatever.
Third for a minute.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I heard. It wasn't really going well in KTM's eyes, but I've heard that's changed. So that's good. Pierce Brown 7-5 for 7th. Okay, that's a very Pierce Brown thing. Jordan Smith goes 10-6 for 8th. All right. RJ Hampshire, 9-8 for 9. Triumphant return.
That didn't...
Kind of just what I expected.
Yeah, exactly.
Wasn't anything crazy.
I was a little impressed and disappointed. Impressed by RJ. Depressed by Deegan. When Deegan was following Romano for so long.
And then RJ just went right by him.
Both of them on the same lap. And
Yeah.
then Deegan's like, oh, okay, now I can go. And then he gets around Romano, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But never caught. I mean, I think RJ gapped him by like 8 seconds.
Yeah.
But again, I wasn't in Deegan's shoes, so you know what I mean? Maybe he was getting some fills and whatever and just
He
wanted to
looked
stay
like he
up
was
and-
really trying up until that point that RJ got by him, and then all of a
Right.
sudden it was kind of like he just shut it off.
Right, that's what I mean. Like, he was trying hard, dude,
Yeah.
to get around Romano. Hard,
Yeah.
and could not do it.
Yeah.
And the Stu and those guys they said that they were pulling the same lap times as the leaders.
Yeah.
And they were battling for what was it, 9th through 11th or something?
Yeah. But that's just that just goes back to the point. And again, I never really noticed this. How bad that track sucks for actual racing.
Passing, right?
Yeah.
It looks super narrow in areas.
Yeah. It's just like it looks like a killer practice track.
Right.
Like it would be so much
Yeah,
fun
the
to
way
go
it
up
flows
and down
and
the hills.
jumps and stuff, it does look like a fun track.
Yep. So you're a little older than me. The Doug Henry crash
Was gnarly as fuck.
was gnarly as fuck. Did he ever come out and say why he did that?
No, I thought the throttle locked.
Oh, okay.
That's what I had heard back in the day.
That would make sense. I don't know. I just was curious
Because I mean, like, you could see McGrath going over it. Like, they showed a ton of clips over it this weekend, and he was like jumping halfway down that hill, and then all of a sudden Henry like drops out of the sky. Like, where the fuck did he come from?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, man, I wonder what, like, my thing I thought was like, okay, well, there's a lot of hills on this track, so maybe he just forgot where he was and thought, but
I think it was a throttle thing.
It's fucking gnarly, dude.
Yeah.
I don't even know. The amount of shit that would be falling from the sky with me as I was coming down from that would be unreal.
Yeah. Did you know how much time he had to think about how he's going to prepare for that crash?
I would have lost like 5 pounds easy,
Right.
just like just shitting right out my ass as I'm up there, like fuck.
Yeah, like I mean, just imagine being in that guy's shoes. Like,
I don't even want to.
What would you be thinking?
I don't even want to. I have nightmares about shit like that. Of just like
He had like 30 seconds to think about what he was gonna do.
That's like your airplane blowing up in the middle of the sky, and you live through that, and then you're just falling 40,000 feet, and you're just like, okay, how much time do I have to think about how bad this is gonna hurt?
Right.
And then at that point, do you just black out? I don't know.
Right.
It's one of those weird things. I don't ever want to be in that position, but it's confusing to like.
Do I stay on the bike? Do I push the bike away? What do I?
You know, one time here at when we were for the Redbud National there, I was thinking, I was like, man, it'd be so cool to jump Larocos. And then I was really like sitting there, like putting myself into it, right? And I thought about it, and I thought about, man, I go off that lip, and I just know I'm going to come up short. Because you do. You know how it is when you're riding. Like, you know when you're not going to make it. I'm like, so I go for it, and I just backed off a little too much, and I know I'm going to come up short. The amount of time I have to stare at that landing that's going to fucking hurt, I mean, dude, I almost cried sitting there in my house in the shower thinking about it. I was like, nope, we're out. Don't even want to. Because there was that momentary of like, man, get a 450. It's just that left-hander, third gear. Just
especially now.
Fucking, wicked. Like, you could probably do it,
I definitely think that jump, it's more of a mind fuck than it is hard.
I think so, too.
On a 450.
Yeah.
On a 250, it's definitely still.
You would never catch me.
And I still say that lightly because I definitely think it takes a lot of skill and timing and everything else. But I've done on my 250, gone off that jump and like doubled it and thought in my head like, I can see how this is doable. But then because the double part of it's like stupid easy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, I can jump that too, yes.
Right. But then when you go and you're like, oh, wait, I'm still not over the landing. Never mind.
Yeah. I'll tell you, the first time I went to Redbud was for the National in 2014. And I remember rolling in and looking at Larocos and going, that's stupid. I would never even ride up that thing. And then, like, I don't know, 2 years later, I had a dirt bike finally. And I remember going there and being like, oh, well, okay, I guess this is just what we're doing. And I went off it and everything was fine. I've never really had an issue with that jump. But I just, like I said, I remember staring at it the first time going, that is a fucking, like, that's not a jump face. That's the side of a hill that they were just like, you know what? This seems all right.
We're going to dig this out and make it a little steeper.
Yeah. And I just remember looking at that going, dude, no way. And I remember telling people who hadn't been there, like, bro, it's like the side of a hill that they've dug it out and you cannot walk up it.
They make a quarter pipe out of it.
Yeah. I'm like, and these guys just jump it and go like 125 feet and just like, yep, it's cool, like whatever. I'm like, no way.
Well, so you know the story of why they call it Larocos, right? He did it on a 125.
Yeah, well,
but opened the gate.
Yeah,
and just blew through it and jumped up it. Whatever.
Yep, I remember that. Well, and then didn't he have it at his practice track too? Didn't Tim go down there or one of the Richies go down there and help him build one at his practice track, and then he came back and was like, "Yo, you got to build this here."
I'm not sure. I don't know.
I thought that was the story I heard this year. Maybe that's not right. I don't know, but it's kind of like that Godzilla jump at Ironman, dude. That Godzilla jump.
Yeah, have you walked up that?
Nope. I mean, I walked all the way around on the top there.
So, like, the spectators can walk right next to it.
Okay.
And that's steep as fuck.
Yeah. Like,
so
dude.
Steep. Like, the up jump is fine.
Mm-hmm.
But the
The down one's
time?
stupid.
Yeah.
The dude, I look at that and I'm just like, nope. You what? All right, go ahead.
Sorry.
I'll keep going through this here.
You're gonna have to edit that.
That's all right. You'll be fine. I do this all the time too. All right. So where were we here? Yeah. So RJ makes a return, 9-8 for 9th. Master Pool, rough first moto there, going down the first quarter, goes 11-9 for 10th. Nick Romano, 12-12 for 11th. Marchbanks, not as good of a week. Actually lost his goggles in the first moto, or didn't lose them. Tossed his goggles in the first moto because he accidentally tore too many tear-offs. Had to stop and get goggles because he was not going 15 more minutes with taking rocks to the face, he said. So he goes 16-11 for 12th. Cody Schock goes 14-13 for 13th. Joey Savacci, really, really great first moto, 5th, and then 37th the second moto with issues again for 14th. Talon Hawkins goes 15-15 for 15th. Ryder D, 13-17 for 16th. Yeah. Dax Bennick, 17-14 for 17th. Yeah. Parker Ross goes 21-16 for 18th. Lux Turner, 18-20 for 19. And rounding out your top 20, Dylan Schwartz goes 38-18 for 20th. And let's see here. Any Michigan people? No. Oh, and Max Anstey had a rough day and went DNF, DNS for 42nd. There we are. How about Evan Ferry fading like a cheap suit?
Yeah, there's a bunch of stories behind him too.
So many stories. So many stories.
I don't know. Obviously, he hasn't had the hype like
He's got health issues, bro.
Diggin or whatever, but he's
had health issues, bro.
You think so?
That's what they keep telling us.
Yeah. Well, his health issues is named Tim.
That, you know what? Yep. All right. So anyway, that's been your 250 race recap brought to you by Flo Racing. Make sure to check them out for all your motorcycle parts needs. All right. Anything else you want to talk about here before we wrap this up?
No, I mean, it's good times.
Thank you for coming out.
Yeah.
Thank you for making the Jeff Stanton thing happen. That was fucking awesome.
Yeah, I had fun.
We will have you back whenever you'd like to. Door's always open, you know.
Awesome.
Maybe we'll get you in for an SMX round here or something, because like I said, I got a couple of those I got to cover. All right, so thanks everybody for tuning in. Make sure to join the members area. Thanks to Complete Racing Solutions, TLR Coatings, ProFlow Racing, Gutter Works, Holster Co., and Isaac Nelson Designs for being on board with us. Thanks to Slacker and Lightning Rod Energy for sending us some stuff to try out here. Really appreciate it, guys. Me and Justin will be back next week. We're going to be at the Ironman race, so if you see us, make sure to stop us and say, hey. We'll be at the race, so the reaction show may be a little delayed, because by the time we get out of there, film a reaction show, get out of there, and I get back to you decent Wi-Fi where I can upload it. It'll be a little bit later, but we will get it done, and we'll be back for a full show next week. And remember, too, to stay tuned after this. We have the Eric Grandall interview coming up here for his weekly segment. So thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see y'all next week.
All you local guys,
BCMC. All right, and now on the line, as promised here, brought to you by our friends at Alias MX, because he is Alias MX. It is the one and only Eric Grandall. Welcome back to the show, bud.
Thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
Another week, another race in the books here. What should we call you? Should we call, because like you're not retired yet, so you're not an ex-pro. Like I don't know how to refer to you here. Like a resident pro racer, kind of.
I don't know. I mean, I have my pro license, but I use it like once a year. So
yeah,
call that what you will. I'm planning on doing Southwick National next year, and that's it.
Okay.
So
yeah,
it's pretty much just Southwick, because that's the only track that I really enjoy.
All right, so you're going to be our resident Southwick pro racer. There we go.
Yep.
Got it now. Okay, it's under control.
Dialed.
I was doing the intro to the show last night, and I was like, shit, I don't know really what to say because he's a part-time pro racer kind of ish. He's not quite all the way out. I don't know. It's such a weird, convoluted thing. So
I get sick of it, and then I don't get sick of it, and pretty much. But now I'm to the point where pretty much Southwick will be the only one that I do. I don't know for how much longer, but I know that I had a blast at that national this year, so I'll definitely be back again next year.
Cool. Super cool. So, all right, let's talk some racing action here. So let's, cause have you watched any of the GPs this week?
So I was planning on watching the GPs today. I tried to not look at the results, but then I was on Instagram last night and I was like, oh, damn it.
Yep.
It sounds like from what I saw on Twitter and Instagram that Hurling's had a pretty badass performance, so I'm excited to watch it.
Hurling's was really good. Did you happen to look at results for Cairoli on that Ducati?
No, I did not. I didn't see what he got, but I saw that he wasn't in the top 10.
Yeah, and I'm not really 100% sure what happened yet. I haven't really dug down into it, so...
I saw his post saying that they had some issues.
Yeah, so I heard the second moto, and again, I've just kind of looked at results and watched the highlights, so I'm not like super deep in it either.
Right.
I heard like second moto, he had a crash or a tip over and kind of said, okay, that's it, I'm gonna call it quits, and ended up like 37th or something. But I heard he was running like top 10 before that, so I guess okay-ish.
Yeah.
I don't know. That bike looks sick. One thing, because I'm sure you've seen some of the posts about it or whatever. Did you notice some of the logos that were on that bike and his jersey?
I did not.
So Lenovo and Shell are all over that bike and that jersey.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Which
so
I went
crossover from the MotoGP team.
Yes, and I'm like, man, I wonder if that's just like they gave it a freebie type deal, like, hey, you're sponsoring the GP team, we want to have some, what do they call it, brand synergy, so we'll just put it on here also, or if it's like a legitimate thing, because if it is...
I mean, that would be pretty sick.
If they're bringing sponsors like that, then all of a sudden it makes things very much more interesting here, so...
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, that was my big takeaway from it, like... The bike seemed okay. I think he got 8th in the qualifying or something. All right. Obviously running top 10 there. Like, the results weren't great, but it's a new bike. What do you really expect? It's kind of like Triumph.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to have growing pains here no matter what. So, so I was, but the sponsorship side of things there is what's very much more curious for me of like, let's dig into this. Is like Lenovo really on board here? Because this is like some F1 style shit then of like getting these computer companies to come in and do the diagnostic work, so.
That's really what the sport needs. We need to get those bigger outside sponsors in. Because I feel like that could really help change the sport, and our guys could make real money.
How do we do that though? Like, that's what I'm always confused about.
Yeah, I don't know. That's such a can of worms that I don't even know that I want to get into.
I mean, I don't either. I don't need to get super blacklisted. I'm already partially blacklisted.
You don't want to get kicked out of the races.
Yeah, that'd be really beneficial to me not to have to wear a disguise to the race, but I always wonder, because it's like you hear the stories, and I'm sure you've heard them, like JGR offering Home Depot for free, like the moto team, and then being like, yeah, no, thank you, and it's like, what, why?
Yeah,
like, I don't get it. And like, I've heard things, as I'm sure you have, and we won't get into it here, but I don't know, super duper interesting there.
That was like Geico. The year that they dropped the Geico team, they had valued us at, like, obviously they're not real numbers, but based off of their marketing calculations and what they were paying us versus the return based off how they calculate it, like how many times it's on TV, mentioned, seen, whatever, winning, all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. They had valued us at like $50 million.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. And we're like, okay, that's great. And then 2 months later, they're like, oh, yeah, we're dropping you guys. We're like, what?
Yep. Mm-hmm. So,
that was...
So peak, okay, let me ask you this, and if you can't share it, that's fine. So peak Geico days, what was Geico spending on the team? Do you know? Can you share? Can you give me a rough?
It was a couple million.
Okay. So they value the signage at $50 million. They're paying a couple million, which I'm not great at math, but that seems like a whole lot of value for not a lot of money.
Yeah, and I don't know how they do those freaking calculations, because to me that doesn't even make sense, because you know that we're not bringing in 50 million in Geico sales.
No.
Like, there's just no way. So I don't know how or why they value it like that, but that's what we were told.
That's funny too, because it's their calculations. Like, you guys aren't calculating that and telling them that. It's their calculations of like, yeah, this is worth like $50 million. What? So yeah, and I guess if you broke it down for $2 million, that would be like 1%. They're spending 1% value essentially on that. That's crazy. That is wild.
Yeah. So I mean, who knows how they got those numbers? I just know that's what we were told, and then they dropped us, and then they felt bad, so they came back with an offer, and we said no.
Interesting. Super interesting. So
yeah.
All right. So Bud's Creek race this weekend here. So Danger Zone there. What'd you think of his performance there?
I mean, not much to say about it, really. Like, I think he covered that in his podium interview.
He was speechless.
The first moto.
He was speechless to win that title there. Absolutely speechless, and I made a joke about it in my reaction show. So
yeah, yeah.
It's the first time he's ever been speechless. Maybe he was cooked. I don't know. Who knows? You know what's happening here. So that first moto interview, I was just like, this is the greatest thing ever. He literally was just like, yeah, I wanted to put 30 seconds on him. I saw 25. I was like, fuck it, we're going 30.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah.
So what do you think he wins by this weekend?
I don't know.
Because now we got
that second moto. He didn't really seem to care. So
well, I chalked that second moto up to a bad start, a track
and the
that's
emotions
shit.
Of winning, and
yeah, and like thinking about. I mean, he even said it there, like holding that number one plate. That was all he was thinking about the second half of the race. So this weekend, we've gone through all those emotions, so we're good on that. We've got Ironman, which is the dirt there. Totally plays into his wide open aggressive style. Like, there's loads of traction. Weather's supposed to be okay, high 80s, so not like overly hot, and no rain or anything. I mean, dude, it would not surprise me if he puts 30 seconds on these boys both motos this weekend.
I don't know. I feel like Vial is going to be pretty good at this track.
Vial has been such a letdown all year.
It has always seemed to kind of lend itself to the European-based guys. So I feel, I mean, I'm holding on to some hope at least. You know, I thought that Unadilla would have been, you know, Vial's day, his type of track and stuff, but that obviously didn't pan out. I mean, he rode good, but it wasn't like great. Like, he didn't battle for the win. So
yep.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a fan of him. I would love to see him get up there, and I feel like this weekend's kind of his last chance to show that. And yeah, I mean, I definitely expected more out of him this summer. Like, he was always fast, but man, he had a lot of crashes and mistakes.
I think we all expected more, and I think that Supercross hangover has been a real deal for like 3 months here. So
it definitely seems to be real for just about everyone that wins a title.
Yeah. I will be interested to see come next year, number one, how he does in Supercross, and number two, let's say he does win another title or whatever. What does that lead to in outdoors? Is outdoors now, okay, we've been there, done that with Supercross, so now we can really crank this in? Or honestly, I look at it as if he struggles in outdoors again next year, kind of like he did this year, and is like a distant second, third, whatever, you know, which is weird to say that that's a struggle, but whatever.
Yeah.
Then I look at it as, okay, Supercross ruined him because that's the only explanation at that point, I'd have to say.
Yeah. No, I mean, I want to be optimistic and think that, you know, maybe this was just kind of an off season for him, which we've seen guys have in the past. And, maybe he'll come back next year and he'll be just like he was last year, battling for wins pretty consistently and, hopefully minimize those mistakes, because he definitely should have had a few wins this summer already.
Yep. So Kitchen gets that win there, but he apparently has been sick all week. Is he cooking himself, do you think? Are we going to see, is this going to start to see a deterioration here as we go because he can't get himself better here? Or
I don't know. I mean, usually when guys are like sick or feeling, drained, for the most part, I mean, when I've been around them, they've always taken the time off that they need. So I would imagine he's following, advice from his trainer, Peter Park, who's got to be one of the best trainers in the world for any sport, really.
Yeah.
Especially he's proven himself in moto. I mean, I believe he worked with Chad, he worked with Kenny, and now he's with Sexton.
Yeah.
And then obviously Vial and Kitchen have followed suit, and they all seem to be in pretty good shape.
Yeah. So do you think he pulls off another one this weekend, or you think Deegan beats him?
I think it's very possible. He's shown that he's been pretty on top of it outside of Washougal the last 4 or 5 races.
Yep.
He's won.
Yep.
So, he's been pretty outstanding. I'd love to have seen the season play out had he been able to hold this kind of consistency throughout.
Yeah. All right, last question here as far as we go with 250s. What do you think Kenny does this weekend? We've started to see some videos roll out now of him on that 250. He says it feels really good. Where do you think he lands here in this 250 class?
I don't know. It's tough because I was so far off on my Caroli predictions. So
yeah, me too. You and me both, brother.
Yeah.
We can roll that tape back of us sounding like idiots from last week. No problem.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think I said like top 5 last week.
Yeah.
And if that's what I said, I'm sticking with it. Because that's, I think about it right now, and I think top 5. I think like a 5-5 is pretty cautiously optimistic.
Mm-hmm.
I also wouldn't be that shocked if he got on the podium, though. So
yeah,
we will see. I'm definitely excited for it, though, because, I mean, when's the last time we've seen something like this happen?
It at least
Almost
gives us
never.
something to talk about this week, because outside of that, I mean, the title's wrapped up. I guess one more thing with 250s. Where do you think this Drew Adams kid slots in?
Oh, yeah, I forgot he's making his debut.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't, because it's been, like, for rookies in recent years, it's been far and few between for guys that have automatically kind of started in the top 10.
Yeah.
But if anyone can do it, I feel like he could definitely be one to do it.
Yeah. He's, man, I think he's, he kind of reminds me Deegan-esque, gritty. And like, will dig.
Send it.
Yeah. Oh yes.
Yeah.
He is.
I raced him a couple
scared.
years ago. It was his first ever race on a 250F.
Oh.
And
nice.
I raced him at Moto Bros in Okeechobee, in Florida.
Okay.
And I started ahead of him because I was on a 450. He was on a 250.
Yeah.
And he launched this single so far past me. And landed so far to the flat, I was like, how did his bike not just snap in half? Like, I already was jumping it further than most everyone else there, or probably everyone else there.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I send that thing pretty far, and he literally just send past me, landed completely flat, almost in the braking bumps. I was like, oh my goodness, this kid will do anything to make a pass.
That's awesome.
So I would love to see him, bring that kind of riding to the outdoors, because I think it's been a while since we've seen someone really kind of. Well, I shouldn't say it's been a while, because Deegan does like to send it.
Oh yeah. I can't wait to watch him.
It'll be nice to
jump.
have someone else out there that is, willing to kind of, jump the stupid stuff.
Yes.
If you will.
Ooh, I wonder if he's going to send that finish line like Deegan did last year.
That was nuts.
That was super crazy. You want to know what I had a thought about
Didn't
this?
Faulkner do that though?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I'm like 99% sure that Faulkner did that in I want to say 2017.
I don't know. I'll tell you what, if he did, nobody remembers it, because last year when I was there and Deegan was sending that,
I just remember it because
everything.
I saw it. And as long as I'm remembering correctly, and it was the 250 class, I know that it was a Kawasaki, and I'm 99% sure that it was Faulkner.
Interesting.
Because I remember seeing someone jump that, and if I was wrong, it could have been the 450 class. But either way, I know he was not the first one to jump it, because I've seen it. I saw it in person. I was watching right there, watched it happen, and I was like, oh my God.
Interesting. Yeah, I'll have to go back and see if I can find that somewhere, because I don't ever remember anybody doing that. I've been there the last 3 or 4 years, and I know before that it was always a mud fest, so I don't know. I would have to go back and look to try to find it.
I would say it was definitely 2017.
Okay.
But yeah, I know that it's been jumped before. I just don't remember if it was in fact Faulkner or if it was shit. I don't even know who would have been on Cowie 450 then, because 2017 was before AC.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I guess it was Tomac.
I know on Gypsy Tales, Marv talked about everybody's looked at that jump and thought we could do it, but there's not enough of a transition or something. I can't remember what he said, but he was like, everybody's looked at that and thought about jumping that, but it just isn't a thing until obviously Deegan did it last year, and it was nuts. It was the craziest thing to watch. So I don't even know. I did have.
I mean, either way, nobody's done it in a long time.
No,
it was very, very gnarly.
Yeah. I had a flashback last night when we were filming to Deegan. Do you remember Deegan's debut at Ironman, whatever it was, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever? And he crashed out.
Yes. Oh my God, that was so gnarly.
Because he tried to do that on-off type thing in that back rhythm section. So it was funny because I go, man, I now know why all these people think I hate him, because I actually had it on video of Hymus doing that the day before at the Combine, doing that exact thing and making it.
Yep.
And I remember posting that video after Deegan crashed in it and tagging him and being like, yeah, this is how it's done. And I'm like, yep, this is probably where all these Deegan bedbugs come out of the woodworks at me still to say, you fucking hate him. And I'm like, I mean, you should listen to the show. It's not really that case. But I was like, that's probably what triggered it. So, that was, I mean, I probably should be careful what I say sometimes, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I should think some more. All right, let's talk a little bit of 450s here. So I assume you like the chances of your boy Chase wrapping this title up this weekend.
I do like the chances, yes.
Barring hitting the deck in practice and not making it to the line here, I think he's got this wrapped pretty much. So
yeah.
Did you think he was winning that moto there at Bud's when he fell over? Did you think he had time to get up and still catch those guys?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
All right.
Because if you've paid close attention to Chase this summer, he always gets faster as the moto goes on.
Yes.
The first 5 minutes or so, he's picking out lines, learning the track, and then he kind of drops the hammer from there. Mm-hmm. And as soon as he tipped over and I saw that it was only 8 seconds, I was like, yeah, he's going to come back to him.
Yeah.
Especially because he got on his wheel pretty quickly after getting around Plessinger.
Yeah, he was moving. He was definitely on the move, and that line he had there going into the rollers was super sick. That outside in that he was cutting was really really fast. So,
and then his pass on Hunter was just disrespectful.
Oh yes, 100%.
Hunter looked over like, "Where the hell did you come from, dude?
What the fuck is happening here? I don't understand." So
yeah, my mechanic just said you were 2 seconds behind me.
that was a corner ago. I don't understand what happened.
Yeah, half a lap later, and he's friggin' past me.
Yeah. What did you think of the Tomac comeback there? Subpar, par, better than expected?
Definitely subpar.
Okay.
How could you say better than expected?
I mean, I didn't say better than expected. I'm just asking.
Yeah.
I was very...
that second moto, I mean, I missed the first moto, so I don't know what happened. But the second moto, I mean, I know it's his first race back, and Bud's is a difficult track to pass on, but, I mean, he just kind of sat there in 11th.
Epic battle with him and Phil. Epic battle with him and Phil for like 25 minutes.
I was just like, damn.
Yeah, it's
that was definitely a bummer to see.
He came in very confident. I listened to some press day interviews.
Yeah, and saying that he wasn't going to be happy if he didn't get on the podium.
Yeah, and I was like, ooh, this seems ambitious here. And then that first moto went off, and he got fourth, and I was like, okay, like he got a decent start, and he kind of hung in there for a little bit. And I was like, all right. And then the second moto, I was just like, oh, okay, typical Tomac 18th place start, which was shit, no problem. And then I kept watching, and I'm like, 11th.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not moving forward. Got it. Cool.
Yep. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of that Supercross race from a few years ago that he started like 16th and finished like 13th.
Yes. It's a typical
and just straight
weird
up,
ride.
Like, didn't crash. Like, just one of those off rides that he just, like, for whatever reason, just couldn't go or get going.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope that, he turns it around. I feel like he's never really let those things affect him too much.
No.
Because he always seems to come back the next weekend and be right back to normal.
Maybe he wins
It's almost like, I mean, literally, like, he very well could do that. I mean, I don't know, because my dad said that he watched the first moto and it looked like he got a little tired, so.
Which doesn't surprise me either.
Yeah, because he's been out for a while, so and outdoors is not easy to just jump back in and be able to do 35 minutes at race pace.
No, and if you watch Supercross at like the 15-minute mark the entire Supercross season, you could kind of watch him taper off. Like, even the race he won, if you watch lap times and kind of watch his riding, 15 minutes in, he was starting to taper off, which was really, really weird to watch Tomac do that, but it's like he was not in shape, I would say, fully for Supercross season. And obviously this injury here didn't help at all. So so I don't know. I'm not sure how this SMX thing is going to go for him here. I mean,
I hope we get to see him back at his best. It would be great for the sport and us fans to watch.
How much money do you think he's getting?
You never know.
How much money do you think he's getting to do those World Supercross rounds?
I would imagine it's a decent chunk.
He's got to be getting $1 million, right?
I would say so.
To do that, because
that's what I had heard that Kenny got a few years ago. So
yeah, I heard Kenny was getting $1 million a year to run the series, and now Tomac's doing all of them, but not on technically, I guess, not on a star bike, but still for a Yamaha team, which is
that CDR team.
Yeah, which is
I'd be very surprised if it wasn't a star bike with CDR graphics.
That's what I
would
think
be
too.
Very surprised.
That's what I think too. So. And then I've heard there is a rumor there's another big name they are going to announce in the next week or two that is going to do the whole series also. So we'll see. You know anything? You got any backdoor information?
I don't.
Is Chase going?
I don't. No, I mean, I almost said that jokingly, but I don't think there's any way that KTM would do that.
No. And so you know what? the interesting thing, and I have to give some props to my buddy Johnny Hopper there and Coach Rob, who kind of talked about this today on their show. The interesting thing is that, okay, so Star Yamaha for next year, Webb obviously got it, like, did his thing, and so he is getting a pay raise, to stay there or whatever. Justin Cooper, I think, is very close to on the verge of completing a contract obligation that will automatically renew his for the next year or two, obviously with a pay raise also, because it'll be a full-blown 450 contract here. Tomac, I think they've thought for the last 2 years is kind of going to just sail into the wind here and not ride anymore, but yet he keeps coming back. And now I keep hearing these very strong rumors that Christian Craig is going back there, which is super interesting to say the least. So okay,
I don't know anything about that. I just know that I had heard that Christian was offered a testing role for Star, but not a contract.
So
but obviously that was just
I've heard that
blowing with the wind.
I mean, I've heard that too, but then I've heard in recent days here that it was a testing/coaching role, and that it was also somehow tied to him racing, but I'm not sure how. And
I mean, 450s would be a lot.
That is a lot. But the thing is, especially with Craig, and Weege kind of threw this out here in their review show, is like the Deegans and Craig are very tight. And so he said, and I actually agree with this, that he would not be surprised if Deegans were coming out of pocket somewhat to pay to have Craig there to basically coach Hayden, essentially. Especially as a whoop coach, because that would be cool.
Yeah, huge.
So that to me kind of made things make sense. And the other thing that's been kind of floating around
in my head, that does make sense.
Yeah, and the other thing that's floating around here, and I've kind of thrown part of this out, is like with the Tomac thing. Okay, you can't get rid of Justin Cooper because he's the future, and we obviously don't know how much longer Tomac is going to ride. So you let Justin Cooper go, he goes and signs a deal somewhere else, you lose him, and then next year Tomac's like, I'm done, and now you got to go find another 450 guy. No, you got to keep Cooper. Obviously, Webb is still under contract, so that's whatever. So with the Tomac thing, I think you go, okay, cool, we'll write a huge bonus structure for you, real small salary, and then you can go do these off-season races like this and make a shitload of money. We'll allow you to go do that and make all this money, and then that way we don't have to pay you as much in our contract thing, but we'll still get you all the equipment, and we'll small salary and big bonuses. So if you do well, whatever. I think that's how you have to play it, and the more that this kind of starts to play out, the more I start to think like this might be what they're doing.
Yeah,
which would
and
make
you might
sense.
have just answered your other question.
What,
doesn't it make sense for Christian Craig to be the other big name going to do World Supercross?
That's I guess that could be a thing too. Because technically he'll be out of his Husky deal by then, so that would be interesting. If he was doing that also. Now I'm going to have to try to find his wife at Iron Man and pump her for information.
Yeah.
Because Paige is really nice, and she will talk to me. So I'll just be like, hey, so is Christian going to go to this World Supercross
awesome
thing?
People.
So, I like her a lot. I talked to her at Redbud a couple of years ago, and I was like, holy shit, this is awesome.
Christian's been riding really well recently.
He has, and especially for having a baby arm.
And I was watching him at Unadilla.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, he's ripping right now. This class is friggin' stacked when you think about it. He was shredding because I think he went 7-7 or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he was, Mookie and Rock, and Mookie's been riding great too. He's never really been that much of an outdoor guy. I mean, look at his results from last year?
Yeah.
Was it last year or the year before?
I don't know. It must have been I think last year he came back for the last 3 or something.
Yep. Yeah, because he kind of struggled a lot, and then now recently he's been riding great.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, that was one other thing I was going to point out. I was like, man, that was impressive to see him get 4th place yesterday overall. Like that was pretty good. So crazy thing is, like the last time he was that good, he was battling his brother on 450s at Bud's Creek, which is wild to think about.
I know.
So, all right, man. So that's been about a half an hour here. Anything else come to mind here? 450s, 250s, anything that you wanna touch on before we jump off here?
I don't think so. I think that was pretty good. I'm excited for the last round outdoors. I wish we didn't get cheated out of a 12th round, though.
I'm totally fine with it.
I mean, I feel like I'm the minority, but I love outdoors.
We could go down to 10 rounds, actually. We could get rid of Buds, too, because after watching that race this week and kind of realizing how much that track kind of sucks for passing, I'm like, yeah, we could get rid of this one, too. Like, I'm out on it. Let's just...
It's the prep. It's not the track. It's the prep.
I don't know, man. That whole uphill, downhill,
1,000 feet deep,
off camber shit that just funnels into one line for 3/4 of the track. I don't know.
Yeah, some of it is pretty one line, but I feel like if you go back to Carmichael and Stu racing there, go back and watch that and see how impossible to pass it was.
That was 2 dudes, all right? That's like saying when Eli's going beast mode or Jet's coming from the back that like, oh, you could pass. Well, yeah, these outlier 1%er guys, yes, they can go around the outside on people, but your majority of dudes like are not passing there. I don't know. It's, I
think a lot of it is to do with the prep, though, because even if looking at Unadilla, like Unadilla was pretty one line this year. Like there was only pretty much one good line around the whole track, and it's because of the prep. They rip them way too deep. They need to let the tracks develop more naturally.
All right, say so.
Rip a couple of the tracks up and then leave a couple of them. Look at Unadilla from 2022 when Chase went 1-1 over Tomac. They let it develop naturally, and it looked like old Unadilla. It got that like choppy, slick, hard edge, and I know that everyone hated the track that year, but like that's what we need. Every track pretty much develops almost identical. Yeah. Other than Southwick and Redbud, because they have a lot of sand in their tracks, and Millville actually looked a lot sandier this year than in years past. Mm-hmm. But outside of those 3, they're all the friggin' same thing. Yep. Like they just rip them 3 feet deep, and it just becomes slot car racing.
Yep. That has definitely been a thing, and you're 100% wrong, sir. There is 0 extra sand added to Redbud. Tim Ritchie will tell you that there's no sand added to Redbud, none whatsoever, no sand.
Did I say that? I don't think I said that.
Bro, you said it was sandy. That is
it is.
Nope, that's incorrect,
it's
sir.
It's a softer dirt.
Nope, that's incorrect, sir. Ask Tim Ritchie.
It's not. I didn't say it was a full-blown sand track. I just said it's sandier.
Sir, that's incorrect. Okay.
Okay. Well, I know for a fact they brought it in for Motocross of Nations.
Nope, sir. You are 100. Oh my gosh, you're going to be banned from Redbud.
2018.
Yep. Nope. You're going to be banned from Redbud, sir.
They brought in a shit ton of sand that year.
Sir, I also rode that track. Nope. You're 100% wrong. Even though I also rode that track, and I can tell you how sandy it was. There was no sand added to that track whatsoever for that race. You are 100. You are a conspiracy theorist. Where's the tinfoil hat? We need a TLR tinfoil hat segment here. Unbelievable. I can't believe
I don't even want to ask what happened.
I can't believe Tim Ritchie will tell you there was no sand added to that track for Designations. It was just because it rained. That was it. 100%. It was only the rain. There was no sand added to that track.
Well, I know that I walked that track because I brought friggin'
Iceland, right?
Oh, wait, no, that was 2022. Either way, I was there in 2018 too, and I looked at the track and I could see that there was sand-colored dirt on top of like that tabletop area, the big Redbud tabletop, like all throughout there. It was like just light tan-colored dirt, which we all know that dirt is dark dirt.
Nope, sir, you are a crazy conspiracy theorist. You probably think the earth is flat also. Like this is crazy. This is lunacy. I can't believe we have this on this show. This is wild. So Are you coming to Ironman for the Sexton Championship party or what?
I am not. I wish I was.
Big bummer.
But I am not. I will be at the main event at MX 207 because Alias is the title sponsor.
All right.
So we will be there selling gear
Hell yeah.
on hand.
Hell
so
yeah.
if you're listening to the show and you're in the New England area, come see us at the main event.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. Well, all right, buddy. Thank you for coming on. We will chat with you next week and talk Chase's championship here.
Knock on wood.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you.
All right. Thanks, buddy.